Hey guys. Oh, let me move my mic down. I'm gonna be reading this driver guide booklet because I take my permit test tomorrow and I don't know how to study for it, and sometimes reading aloud helps me comprehend it better. But yeah, I'm gonna read the entire thing all in one sitting out loud, hopefully. And I just decided to record it. I'm going to try to do it without stopping, but every once in a while I'm going to stop the text because, as you can see, I'm a pretty popular fellow. Oh, I guess it's not going to focus, but yeah. So we're going to get started. We're not going to read the table of contents. We're just going to read the stuff I need to read. And yeah, let's hope it goes well. I have a clock in the bottom left. Is that left? That corner. It's 9:26 right now. I was going to put a digital clock behind me, but I don't know. So, we're going to get started with table of contents, but we're not going to read all that. We're going to get started with Chapter 1, the Missouri driver's license. That's where I live, Missouri. Anyone who operates a motor vehicle or motor-driven cycle on public roadways in Missouri is required to have valid driver's license. You may obtain a Missouri driver license at any one of Missouri's 183 license offices. You must have a Missouri driver license if you live in Missouri, you are 16 years of age or older and plan to drive, you are a new resident of Missouri and want to drive, even if you have a driver's license from another state. If you are an out-of-state commercial driver who has moved to Missouri within the last 30 days, please refer to the Missouri Commercial Driver License Manual. Certain persons are not required to obtain a Missouri driver's license. You do not need a Missouri driver's license if you are a member of the armed forces. Sorry, I'm getting spammed right now, jeez. If you are a member of the armed forces and you have a valid driver's license from your home state, if you are a full-time student and you have a valid driver's license from your home state, if you operate or temporarily operate/move any farm tractor or implement on a highway for agri-related purposes. You are required to carry your driver's license or permit when you drive. If any law enforcement officer asks you to see your driver's license or permit, you must present it. It is against the law for you to allow someone else to use your license or permit. Tip! Anyone obtaining a new license, permit, or renewing a license or permit, is required to show verification of name, date of birth, place of birth, social security number, and Missouri residential address. These requirements are explained in detail later in the chapter. I have a good idea. I don't want to stop reading, but I kind of do already. I bet I could look this book up online. Kind of hard to read sideways. I bet I could display what I'm reading on my screen and just turn pages while. Wouldn't that be pretty nifty? I can't really see it because my microphone's in the way. Yeah, look at that. So now I just gotta adjust this so it all fits. So I'm gonna move me a little bit smaller. I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger. I'm gonna let me overlay this. I'm not gonna cut this at all. I'm just gonna upload it raw. So sorry about that if that is annoying. Let me full screen this thing. And I'll put myself right there. How's that? Alright, so that was the cover. We don't care about that. Do I really have to... How do I... Alright, so the page we're on is this page. We're on the tip right here. Okay, that's where I left off. We're going to continue. Ooh. Let's continue. I'm not even going to put the clock. Wish I could make this bigger somehow. I bet I can if I... Well, then I have to manually scroll with it, so that would be kind of ridiculous. Whatever. We're just going to start with tip and then I'll scroll down. If I forget, oh well, who cares? Tip: anyone obtaining a new license or permit or renewing a license or permit is required to show verification of name, date of birth, place of birth, social security number, and Missouri residential address. These requirements are explained in detail later in this chapter. Types of permits: if you are under 21 years of age, you will be issued a permit identifying you as a minor. Instruction permit, eligible age 15. This is the first step in Missouri's graduated driver's license program for young drivers. Generally, this permit allows a young person to learn to drive with the supervision of a licensed adult. See later in this chapter for detailed information. Motorcycle instruction permit, eligible age 15 and a half or 16. You may apply for a motorcycle instruction permit to learn to operate a motorcycle or motor tricycle. The age you are eligible to apply may be 15 and a half or 16 years as described below. 15 and a half years of age, 15 years and 182 days. The motorcycle instruction permit will only be issued if you have successfully completed an approved motorcycle rider training course. You must pass the Class F and Class M written, vision, and road sign tests. You must also have the written consent of your parent or legal guardian. This permit allows daylight driving only, with a 50-mile radius of home, a motorcycle of no larger than 250 cc and no passengers. 16 years of age or older. If you are 16 years old or older, you may apply for a motorcycle instruction permit, but the motorcycle rider training course is not required. If you do not have a valid driver license, you may take the Class F and Class M written test to receive a motorcycle instruction permit. When you are ready, you may take the motorcycle driving test and pay the appropriate fee to become motorcycle qualified. For more information on Missouri's laws on motorcycles, please obtain a copy of the Motorcycle Operator Manual at the Missouri Highway Patrol testing station or at one of our license offices. Types of license. I could read it off my monitor, but I feel more official reading it out of a book for some reason. Types of license. Sorry. If you are under 21 years of age, you will be issued a license identifying you as a minor. When you reach age 21, you may apply and pay for another driver's license without the minor indication, or wait until you are 21. Under 21, license expires. Intermediate license, Class F, eligible age 16. This is the second step in Missouri's graduated driver license program for young drivers. Generally, this license allows a young person certain restricted driving privileges. See later in the chapter for detailed information. Full driver's license, Class F, eligible age 18. This is the basic driver's license, also called an operator license. You must have a Class F license to operate any motor vehicle other than the one requiring you to have a Class A, B, C, or E license. The Class F license does not allow you to drive a motorcycle unless the license shows the motorcycle endorsement. Endorsements will be discussed later in this chapter. You must pass the Class F written, vision, road sign, and driving test. For higher license, Class E, eligible age 18. When you test for... If I yawn one more time. Sorry guys, I don't know why I keep yawning. For higher license, Class E, eligible age 18. When you test for a Class E license, the written exam will include questions based on the complete driver guide, but mainly Chapter 15, commercial driver licenses. Uh-oh, someone's coming. It's my mother. 1 second. Don't want her to come in here, because I'm not going to cut this. Sounds like she went back upstairs. Where was I? Oh yeah. You must also pass the vision and road sign test. If you already have a Class F license, the driving test is not required. However, you must meet the under 21 requirements. See page 21. For a full license, if you apply for a Class E license at age 18. There are numbers. Every time I yawn, from now on, I'm going to stab myself with these toenail clippers. How about that? Okay, my mom went upstairs. There are a number of reasons you may wish to obtain a Class E license, such as if you receive pay for driving a motorcycle vehicle transporting 14 or fewer passengers. People keep coming up and downstairs. 14 or fewer passengers, that's where it was. Such as a driver for a day care center. What? If you transport property for pay as part of your job, such as pizza or florist delivery driver. If you regularly operate a motor vehicle for your employment, which belongs to another person and is designed to carry freight and merchandise, the vehicle must be 26,000 pounds or less gross vehicle weight rating, GVWR, and not required to be placarded for hazardous materials. Motorcycle license, Class M, eligible age 16. You must have a Class M license or permit or driving license with the M endorsement if you operate a motorcycle or motor tricycle or public roadways. You will need to pass the Class F and Class M written vision road sign and motorcycle skills test. Graduated driver's license requirements will apply to Class M license applicants between the ages of 16 and 18. See the graduated driver license requirements later in this chapter. For more information about Missouri's motorcycle laws, please obtain a copy of the motorcycle operator manual at the Missouri Highway Patrol testing station or at one of our license offices. Commercial driver license, Class A, B, or C. You must have a commercial driver license based on the type of commercial motor vehicle you drive. You must be at least 18 years old to apply for a CDL and at least 21 years old. Oops, sorry about that. I don't know if I'm going to do this. Seems like it'll be a lot of work. Whatever. At least 18 years old to apply for a CDL and at least 21 years old to obtain a CDL with a hazmat or school bus. That was one yawn. I didn't stab myself, but I slashed myself. Requirements if you apply for CDL at age 18. Please refer to the Missouri Commercial Driver License CDL Manual for detailed information about the CDL program. Non-driver license identification card, Class ND. Ow! Okay, that hurt. I stabbed myself that time. That was 2 yawns. I'm going to put a yawn counter. Oh, that'd be funny. I'm just going to go with 3, even though I know I've yawned more than 3 times. Oh wait, that's right by my webcam. That doesn't look too bad. Alright. Where was I? A, B, or C, ND. We're going to say I was at non-driver license / identification card. You may obtain a photo non-driver license for identification purposes. I'm about to yawn. I sucked it in. Your non-driver license expires on your date of birth in the 6th year after you apply. If you are age 70 or older, your driver's license will never expire. If you are applying for a non-driver license to add or retain a concealed carry weapon CCW endorsement, the non-driver's license will expire on the same day as a CCW endorsement. This date is determined by calculating 3 years from the issue date and concealed carry certificate and the concealed carry certificate of qualification issued by the sheriff or sheriff's designee. Requirements to obtain a license or a permit. Depending on your age, whether you are obtaining a new license or permit, if you are renewing one, or if you have just moved to Missouri, the requirements to obtain, I don't know if I'm going to count that, of license are slightly different. If you are a driver age 15 to 21, the graduated driver's license GDL program applies to you. Please see the GDL section in this chapter for more information. You will need to show verification of name, date of birth, place of birth, social security number, and Missouri residential address, detailed in this chapter to qualify. If you are a Missouri driver renewing a license, you must show verification of name, date of birth, place of birth, social security number, and Missouri residential address. You will also surrender your previous license and take the vision and road signs test. If you are obtaining a new Missouri license, you must show verification of name, date of birth, place of birth, social security number, and Missouri residential address. You will be required to take the 4-part driver license. You will need to show verification of name, date of birth, place of birth, social security number, and Missouri residential address. You will also surrender the license from your previous state of residence and the vision and road signs test. You must take 4-part driver examination detailed in Chapter 2 if any of the following apply to you. You are applying for a new Missouri driver's license. Your Missouri driver's license has been expired for more than 6 months and 184 days. If your out-of-state license has been expired for more than 184 days or half a year or whatever, your license was revoked because you had too many points, see Chapter 11, on your driving record, or because of an administrative alcohol action, see Chapter 10. The Director of Revenue asks you to take the exam even if you have a current driver's license. Required documents. When you obtain or renew any license permit or non-driver license, you will be required to show verification of name, date of birth, place of birth, social security number, and Missouri residential address as required by Missouri law. If renewing, you will also be required to present and surrender your law. If renewing, I wasn't focusing. I couldn't see the comma in the period. If renewing, you will also be required to present and surrender your current license, permit, or non-driver license. Details of these requirements are listed below. For more information, visit our website. Name, date of birth, place of birth. A U.S. citizen must... Why are there no spaces here? Are there spaces on here? Sorry. For me, there are no spaces in the book right here, I swear. A U.S. citizen may show a birth certificate issued by a state or local government with an embossed, stamped or raised seal, a valid or expired U.S. passport, a certificate of citizenship, certificate of... I'm in here! My mom asked where I was. A hospital-issued birth certificate is not acceptable. U.S. military identity... No! My office! U.S. military identification card or discharge papers accompanied by a copy of U.S. birth certificate issued by a state or local government. Non-U.S. citizens must present the appropriate immigration documents indicating the applicant's status. Examine the full list of acceptable required documents at a big old website. Age 65 and older. It's a weird shadow. Exemption. If you are renewing a non-commercial permit/driver license or non-driver license at the age of 65 or older, you are exempt from presenting documents for place of birth. Social security number. At a social security card or Medicare card with your current name can be presented if your name on the social security card or Medicare card does not match your current name. Additional documents must be presented to supply verification of your name change. Missouri residential address. You have a variety of options to prove your current address. Examples include a recent utility bill, including phone, electric, gas, water, sewer, and cable, property tax receipt, most recent bank statement, voter ID card, or any official letter issued within the last 30 days by another state or local government agency on its letterhead. A Missouri residential address will be required each time you apply to renew a driver's license, non-driver license, or an instruction permit. If you are under the age, I'm not counting that, of 21 and cannot provide verification of a Missouri residential address, a parent or legal guardian may prove such a document on your behalf. Resident address is the location at which a person has been physically present and that the person regards as home. A residential address is a person's true, fixed, principal, and permanent home to which a person intends to return and remain, even though currently residing elsewhere. Social Security number. State law requires you to include Social Security number on your application to obtain a license or permit. A licensed office employee may ask for proof of your SSN. Any one of the documents below are acceptable as proof as SSN. Social Security card. A metal card is not acceptable. Recent payroll stub containing the SSN. Military identification card containing the SSN. IRS state tax forms. A Form W-2 is not acceptable. Financial statement on company form/letterhead containing the SSN. If you do not have a social security number, you may sign an affidavit. I'm not scrolling down at all. I don't even. This is kind of pointless, but whatever. Affidavit stating that you do not have a social security number. If a social security number has not been assigned, you must present a letter from the Social Security Administration regarding the status of your social security number. Your application and supporting documents will be sent to the central office for verification. Your permit or license will be issued if approved. Name changes. If the name on your required documents does not match your current name, present one of the documents below showing your current/correct name. Last name change. Certified marriage certificate, certified divorce decree, certified court order, certified adoption papers, or amended birth certificates, U.S. passport or Social Security card or Medicare card. First name change, court order or adoption papers. Middle name change, court order. Tip: make sure you have all the necessary documents with you before you go to the license office. It will save you time and the time of your fellow customers. Fees for permits. Fees for the duration of a permit. Oh no. Are based on the applicant's age at the time of transaction. Application test fees not included. Got a big old chart now. Fees for permits. Already read that. New/renewal permit. Student permit. How am I going to say it? Student permit. Minimum age 15. Cost $1. Valid for length of approved course. Instruction permit. Minimum age 15. Cost $3.50. Valid for 0 to 1 year. Motorcycle permit. Minimum age 15 and a half or 16. Wait, okay, whatever. Cost $6.25 or $3.50. 0 to 6 months. Valid for commercial driver's license. CDL permit. Minimum age 18. Cost $7.50. Valid for 0 to 6 months. Fees for license is. Fees and the duration of license are based on the applicant's age at the time of the transaction. Application test fees are not included. Type. Intermediate license. Minimum age 16. Cost $7.50. Valid for 0 to 2 years. Full class license. Class F. 18. Minimum age 18. Cost $10 or $20. Valid for 0 to 3 years or 0 to 6 years. For higher license. Minimum age 18. Cost $17.50 or $35. Age 70 with school bus endorsement. New $7.50. Renewal $2.50. 0 to 3 years or 0 to 6 years or 0 to 1 year if you're age 70 with a school bus endorsement. Commercial driver's license 18. Minimum age 18. Cost $22.50 or $45. Valid for 0 to 3 years or 0 to 6 years. Age 70 with school bus endorsement. New $10. Renewal $2.50 or 0 to 1 years. How long is it valid for? Motorcycle only license. Minimum age 16. Cost $10 or $20. Valid for 0 to 3 years or 0 to 6 years. Non-driver license. Minimum age any age. Cost $11. Valid for 0 to 6 years or non-expiring. Jeez. Non-driver's license ID card with concealed carry weapon endorsement. Minimum age 21 and over. Cost $5.50. Valid for 0 to 3 years. Expiring on the same date as CCW. Based on the applicant's age or document verification status at the time of the transaction. Ooh, glad we got out of that out of the way. Wish I could I'll keep it like that. Let me put my counter back up. And since we just turned the page, we're gonna add a little bit of a party up in here. We're gonna add the time. Whoa, come on. What the what should I add it at? How about right? Oh, son of a... Boom, we're gonna add that. Blammo. Just so it's tucked down there nicely and neatly. Okay, there we go. Restrictions. If you have limited driving experience or a medical condition that impairs your ability to drive safely, you may receive a restricted license permitting you to drive only under specific conditions. Ugh. Ooh, that was weird yawn. I had like burp in the middle. If you have a restricted license, it will have one or more of the restriction codes shown below. You may be required to take a driving test in order to have restriction removed from your license. If you disobey the restrictions, never mind. You can be charged with driving without a license, and if convicted, points will be placed on your driving record. If you receive too many points, see Chapter 11, your license may be suspended or revoked. Restriction codes: A. Corrective lenses. B. Outside rearview mirror. C. Daylight driving only. D. Auto trans/power steering. E. Seat cushion. F. Restricted to 45 miles per hour. G. 25-mile radius. Ooh. H. Special hand devices. I. Intermediate license. J. Electrical turn signals. K. Intrastate CDL only. L. Non-air brake CDL. M. Extension on foot device and leg braces. O. Foot operated emergency brake. P. Accelerator on steering column. R. Back cushion. T. Right outside mirror. U. Uncoded restriction. W. Three-wheel motorcycle only. Y. Left outside mirror. Z. More than 5 restrictions. An uncoded restriction is any restriction not listed here. Any law enforcement officer, judge, or physician can ask the Department of Revenue to place restrictions on your license. Medical referral. These are 2 reasons you may need a physician's statement when you review or apply for license. You have had epileptic seizures, convulsions, or blackouts within the 6 months prior to your application for a license. A driver examiner, sorry, I zoned out. License clerk, family member, law enforcement officer, or physician believes that you may have some other medical condition that would make you an unsafe driver. This person must complete the driver condition report, form 4319, and submit it to the Department of Revenue. Endorsements. Endorsements are just the opposite of restrictions because they qualify you to do things that you couldn't do without the endorsement, such as drive a school bus or carry a concealed weapon. The endorsements available for your non-commercial Class F, E, or M Missouri driver's license are listed below. School bus S endorsement. A school bus endorsement is required for anyone transporting students from school to home, home to school, and to and from school-sponsored events. A school bus endorsement may be issued to drivers age 21 or older who hold a Class E for hire license or a commercial license with a passenger P endorsement. A school bus endorsement can be suspended for 1 year. A person fails to pass any drug, alcohol, or chemical test administered in accordance with any federal or state law, rule, or regulation regarding the operation of a school bus. I'm going to go get a gallon of milk and bring it down here. I think I yawned. I will be right back. Oh, I'm so sore. It's really hot. Back. What am I running over? I'm running over. Stop. Jeez. Where was I? I was just moving on to a new page. That's right. What? Well, Missouri law has special operand regulations for school buses. If you need more information on school buses, contact Missouri Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, Division of Administrative and Financial Services, School Transportation email, reply at dmtp blah 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 573-751-0357, fax 573-526-6898. Someone's coming down here again. I can't focus. Concealed carry weapon, CCW endorsement. To obtain CCW endorsement on a driver's license and or non-driver's license, you must be at least 21 years of age and present to the license clerk a concealed carry certificate or qualification issued by the sheriff or sheriff's designee in your Missouri. So much yelling. County based on your residential address within 7 days of insurance. A driver license with a CCW endorsement will have an expiration date that is different from the expiration date of the CCW. The CCW expiration date will be indicated separately on the face of the driver's license. You must remember to renew your CCW endorsement and apply for an updated driver's license to reflect the renewed qualification. A non-driver license with a CCW endorsement will be issued with an expiration date that will be the same as the expiration date for the CCW endorsement. The date is defined as 3 years from the issued date of the CCW certificate of qualification as posted by the sheriff or sheriff's designee. The dates will be reflected separately on the face of the non-driver license. If your driver or non-driver license with a CCW endorsement is lost, destroyed, or stolen, you must present to the license clerk a reissued concealed carry certificate of qualification from the sheriff or sheriff's designee in your country you reside in, containing the original issue date, unless you are due for renewal and a new control number. If you hold a driver and or non-driver license with a CCW endorsement, you must notify the sheriff or sheriff's designee and the Department of Revenue of any change in address. If your county has changed, you must notify the sheriff or sheriff's designee in both your previous county and your new county. Additional endorsements are available if you have a commercial driver license. For more information, please see the Commercial Driver License Manual available from the Missouri State Highway Patrol license offices or our website at the big website link. Oh, perfect. Not perfect. Renewing a license or permit. Renewal reminders. The department will mail you a reminder to renew before your license expires. The reminder will be sent using the mailing address on your driver record. When you move, you may update your address in one of the following ways. Complete an address change at your local license office on-line at www.door.gov. Send an email to dlbmail@door.mo.gov or send a written notice with your new address to the driver license beret, P.O. Box 200, Jefferson City, Missouri 631050200. Your reminder will state the fee required to renew your license. You can renew your license up to 6 months before it expires. Each time you renew, you will be required to take the vision and roadside test. It is your responsibility to renew your driver's license, even if you do not receive the reminder. This milk's probably going to be gone by the end of this. This is my bib. Where was I? Shoot! Where was I? Failure to renew promptly may cause you to have to retake the written and driving tests. You can be ticketed for driving without a valid license. Exception: if you will be leaving the state/county for an extended time, you may request an early renewal of your driver's license at your local license office. A driver license may be valid up to 6 years. If you allow it to expire, you must not drive. If you would like to continue driving uninterrupted, you must renew your license before it expires. If you do not renew your license within 6 months or 184 days after its expiration date, you have to take the written and driving tests, see Chapter 2, in addition to the vision and road sign tests. License offers are usually busiest at the end of each month. Since you may renew your license up to 6 months, 184 days before it expires, you are encouraged to select a time to avoid longer lines. If the renewal dates for your driver license and motor vehicle registration renewal are within 6 months, you may be able to complete both renewals at the same time and save yourself a trip later to the license office. Renewal by mail for activity duty members of the armed forces. What the? Move that. Missouri allows renewal by mail for members of the armed forces and their departments. Applicants should submit renewal form 4317 available online at AA Big Link or faxed upon request. Along with required documents and fees, Missouri allows a renewal without re-examination for members of the armed forces whose license have expired while out of state for up to 6 months. Something. For up to 6 months from honorable discharge or within 90 days of reestablishing residency in Missouri. Whichever occurs first, the expired Missouri license and discharge papers must be submitted at the time of application in condition to other applicable renewal documents. The expired license is not valid for driving. These provisions only waive re-examination and do not extend the actual driving privileges beyond the expiration date. Lost, stolen, or destroyed license. If your license expires or is lost or stolen while you're out of state, you may request a mail-in license application by phone at 573-751-4600 or download the form DOR 4317 at our website, Big Link. If your license is lost, stolen, or destroyed, you must apply for a duplicate license. If your current license expires within the next 6 months, you may renew your license early rather than obtain a duplicate license. This saves you time and money. Renewing when your license is suspended or revoked. You may take the vision and road sign tests and renew your license even while your driving privilege is suspended. However, if your driving privilege has been revoked, you may only renew your license during the revocation if it has resulted from your refusal to take a chemical test from an abuse and lose court order or a minor possession in action. You will not receive your license back until you have completed your reinstatement requirements and driving privilege has been reinstated. Other information about your driver's license, organ, eye, and tissue donor information. When you apply for a new renewal or duplicate instruction permit, driver or non-driver license, the contract office will provide information regarding the first person consent organ, eye, and tissue donor registry. You will be asked 2 very important questions at the time you make your application. Do you authorize a symbol to be placed on your license indicating your consent to be listed as an organ, eye, and tissue donor in the donor registry? If you say yes, a red heart with a green banner will appear on the front of your instruction permit, driver or non-driver license. Your name will automatically be added to the Missouri Organ and Tissue Donor Registry, managed by the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services or their agent. The registry is on a secure, confidential database. Joining the registry means that you have legally documented your decision to save lives by becoming an organ and tissue donor at the time of your death. No further consent is needed. Reliving your family or making that decision on your behalf. There is no fee to place a symbol on the instruction permit, driver or non-driver license, or place your name is in the registry. You may obtain more information regarding the donor registry or register your decision and enroll online at www.missouriorgandonor.com. It's a clever website name. Would you like to contribute a... Wait, what? Where am I? What? This is different. Huh. That's odd. Okay, it's going to be different, but would you like to contribute $1 to the Missouri Organ Donor Fund? Another way to support organ and tissue donation is to make a voluntary contribution to the Missouri Organ Donor Fund. Your contribution to the fund directly supports registry operation and public education so that people How do you make informed decision about donations? I don't know where I was. Decision about donation. The registry and educational efforts are supported by contributions only. On the back of your instruction permit, driver or non-driver license, space is provided to designate any organs you want to donate at the time of your death. In other words, an anatomical gift with the organs you want to donate and the sign and date in front of two witnesses. They too must sign. There is also a place on the back of the license to indicate your attorney in fact for healthcare decisions, including organ donation. An attorney in fact is someone to whom you give permission to act on your behalf. Use a permanent marker when completing the back of your driver and non-driver license. You are strongly encouraged to inform your family of your decision to be an organ, eye, and tissue donor and your decision related to attorney in fact. Although I'm still not where that says I am. That's weird. Although Missouri law does not require it, keeping everyone informed will help avoid confusions or delays. Oh, my back is stuck to the chair. The back of your license, is that here? It is not. Oh, nope, there we are. I'm at the back of your license. Here, I'll put it at the top of the page. The back of your license also includes areas for you to write your blood type and allergic reactions to medicines. If you are in an accident, this information could help medical personnel save your life. Blind Awareness Fund. State law requires the clerk to ask you if you would like to donate $1 to the Blind Awareness Fund when you apply for a license permit or non-driver license. JD8, notation for deaf or hard of hearing applicants. When you apply for a renewal or your driver's license, non-driver license, or instruction permit, you may ask that a J88 notation be placed on your driver license, non-driver license, or instruction permit. In the event of an emergency, this notation will allow law enforcement or emergency and medical personnel to readily determine if you are deaf or hard of hearing. This will assist in ensuring effective communications with someone who is injured and non-responsive. In order to obtain the J88 notation, you must request the notation when applying for a license or instruction permit. You must have one of the following documents if you wish to have J88 notation placed on your license permit. A medical statement from a licensed medical professional which varies your level of hearing loss. A certified affidavit, the affidavit form DOR 4942, can be obtained from any license office. Does that mean from many? I don't know. Is that on here? From any? Oh, it's from any. Am I dumb? A statement from, on here it's not spaced. A statement from an approved or authorized agency listed below, which varies your level of hearing loss. Agencies or programs authorized to provide documentation that is a license or instruction permit applicant is deaf or hearing impaired shall include but not be limited to the following. The Missouri Commission for the Deaf, Social Security Administration, a vocational rehabilitation program, a federal, state, or county Department of Health, an independent living center. The Director of the Revenue shall have authorization to review and determine acceptability of any documentation from an agency or program not listed. Boater Safety Indicator. If you're a resident of Missouri who has compiled with the provisions of Section 306.127 RESMO and possesses a current boating safety education card issued by the Missouri State Highway Patrol, you may request to obtain a boater identification indicator on your driver license or non-driver license. The Missouri State Highway Patrol will accept the indicator on a valid driver license or non-driver license in lieu of carrying the separate boating safety education card. You must request the new indicator and present your valid boating safety education card at the time of application for a new renewal or duplicate transaction. There will be an additional cost of $1 added to the standard processing fees when the boater identification indicator is initially added to a driver license, non-driver license document, or non-driver license document. Permanent disability indicator. If you are a resident of Missouri who is permanently disabled, you may have a permanent disability indicator placed on the back of your driver's license or non-driver license at the time of applicant for a new renewal or duplicate transaction. To be eligible for the indicator, you must submit a form, blah, 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 blah. Oh, I can't say that. 5294. Physician statement, permanent disability indicator completed and signed by your physician, physical therapist, occupational therapist, licensed under Chapter 334, RSMO, or other authorized healthcare practitioner. There will be no additional cost to add the indicator. The standard new renewal or duplicate transaction processing fees will apply. You are not required by law to obtain a permanent disability indicator on your driver's license or non-driver's license. The indicator is not a determination of why can I not say that word? Eligibility. What the heck? I can say eligibility. Doesn't sound right though. Or public benefits. Driver's Privacy Protection Act, DPPA. The Federal Driver's Privacy Protection Act requires all the states to close the personal information contained on all motor vehicle driver and non-driver license record unless sorry, it's not the same again. See, I'm already down at DPPA. Like that was not there. The Federal Driver's Privacy Protection Act requires all states to close the personal information contained on all motor vehicles and non-driver license records. Unless otherwise directed by state law, under Missouri law, a person or entity may access the personal information if exempt under the DPPA and have submitted Form 4678 request for security access code, or have obtained express consent from the record holder. Form 4681 request from record holder. Voter registration. When you apply for or renew your driver's license, non-driver license, or instruction permit, the clerk will ask you if you are registered to vote. If you indicate that you are not registered, that you are registered to vote, your transaction will be completed. If you are not registered and are interested in becoming registered or need to update your name or address on your voter registration card, you may complete an application and it will be forwarded to your local election authority. Selective Service registration. Male applicants aged 18 to 26 may register with the Selective Service at the time of their license or permanent application. Suspension or revocation of your license. There are a number of reasons your license may be revoked or suspended or denied. Your best bet is to be responsible and be a good driver. You can lose your license for any of the following reasons. Parent or guardian request to deny a driver's license. If you are under the age of 18, your parent or guardian may request that the Director of Revenue deny you from a license. If you already have a driver's license, the request Form 4811 will cancel your license. When the department receives the request, a denial will be placed on your driving record. The denial expires when you turn 18 or when your parent or guardian requests your driving status be cleared. Form 4811 may be found on the requests your driving status be cleared. Form 481. Oh, I'm stupid. I read the same line twice. Form 4811 may be found on the department's website at www. Or at any license office. Driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs, refusing to let a police officer test you for alcohol or drugs, leaving the scene of an accident, failing to file an accident report, giving false information when you apply for a license, failing to settle a court judgment made against you for damages resulting from a motor vehicle accident, failing to keep insurance, financial responsibility, see Chapter 13, changing the information on your license or using someone else's license when you attempt to buy alcohol, failing to appear for an exam when requested by the driver's license bureau, using a motor vehicle to commit a felony or causing the death of someone in a motor vehicle accident, having too many points on your driving record, see Chapter 11, letting someone else have your driver's license, failing to appear in court to pay traffic tickets in Missouri or other states, failing to pay child support, failing to use an ignition interlock device when required, stealing fuel from a gas station, possessing any intoxicating liquor if you are a minor, submitting false proof of insurance, failing to yield the right-of-way and causing injury of death. The graduated driver's license, GDL law. 21 out of 130, that's like an eighth. Wouldn't that be an eighth? That sounds about right. No, it's not. Whatever. How have I been doing this for? It's been going 50 minutes. Okay. And we're not even... So that's going to be... This is how much we've read in 50 minutes. And this is how much we have to read. I'm going to be up all night, and I'm supposed to be getting up early tomorrow to go to the orthodontist. Whatever. The Missouri's graduate driver's license law requires all first-time drivers to obtain an instruction permit and complete a period of driving with a licensed driver, followed by a period of restricted driving intermediate license before getting a full license. Studies from across the country show that deaths and serious injuries from traffic crashes involving young drivers decline by as much as 58% after a graduated driver's license was... Ooh, that hurt my heart. What the heck? That counted as a yawn, but that hurt. And serious injuries from after a graduated driver's license law is implemented. Consider the instruction permit as step 1, the intermediate license as step 2, and the full under 21 license as step 3. The following are descriptions of each step to help you understand the GDL program. Step 1, instruction permit, eligible age 15, cost $3.50, valid 0 to 12 months based on document verification status. To obtain an instruction permit, pass the vision, roadside, and written test. Hey, that's what I'm doing. A parent, step-parent, legal guardian, or certified trainer with a federal residential job training program must accompany you to the license office to sign a permission statement. Permit notes: under age 16, you may drive only when accompanied in the front seat by a parent, step-parent, grandparent, legal guardian, or qualified driving instructor. If your parent, step-parent, grandparent, or legal guardian is physically disabled, he or she may designate up to 2 persons to accompany you in a vehicle to provide behind-the-wheel instruction. Age 16 or older, you may drive when accompanied in the front seat by a person who is at least 21 years old and has a valid driver's license. Seatbelt must be worn by the driver and all passengers. Your test paper alone is not legal for driving. Be sure to carry your permit with you. You may renew your instruction permit as many times as needed without taking additional written tests. Free permit driver window signs are available at all license offices. To graduate in... Where am I? That's where I am. To graduate an intermediate license, you must have an instruction permit for a minimum of 6 months, 182 days, beginning the day after insurance issuance. You must have received 40 hours of driving instruction with a parent, step-parent, legal guardian, or certified trainer with a federal residential job training program. The required 40 hours must include at least 10 hours of nighttime driving. Step 2, intermediate license. Eligible age, 16 to 18, cost $7.50, valid 0 to 2 years, based on document verification status. To obtain an intermediate license, you must satisfy the requirements listed in Step 1 to graduate from the instruction permit and hold the instruction permit for at least 6 months, beginning the day after issuance. This includes having no alcohol-related convictions from the last 12 months and no traffic convictions in the last 6 months. A parent, step-parent, legal guardian, or certified trainer with a federal residential job training program must accompany you to the license office to verify you have received 40 hours of driving instruction with your instruction permit. Pass the vision, road sign, and written test my toe itches. If previous results are more than 1 year old, pass the driving test. License notes. I gotta stretch. I'm so sore from stuff. Where was I? Wasn't that license notes? Your test paper alone is not legal for driving. Be sure to carry your intermediate license with you. Seatbelts must be worn by the driver and all passengers. Passenger restrictions outlined below may not be applicable to an intermediate. Where is that thing? My toe itches. Intermediate. License holder who is operating in agricultural work-related activities. Driving restrictions. During the first 6 months, you may not operate a motor vehicle with more than 1 passenger who is under the age of 19 and who is not a member of your immediate family. After the first 6 months, you may not operate a motor vehicle with more than 3 passengers who are under 19 years of age and who are not members of your immediate family. You may not drive alone between 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. Expect to and from a school activity, except from to and from a school activity, job, or emergency, unless accompanied by a licensed driver 21 years of age and older. Immediate family shall include parents, grandparents, brothers, sisters, stepbrothers, stepsisters, and adopted or foster children residing in the driver's household. Parents shall include a foster parent, step-parent, or adoptive parent. Grandparent shall include a foster grandparent, step-grandparent, or adoptive grandparent. To graduate to a full under 21 driving license, you graduate your driving privilege cannot be suspended, revoked, or denied at the time of application. You may not have any alcohol-related offenses or traffic convictions within the last 12 months. Ooh. Oh, we're almost in Chapter 2. Look at that. Full driver's license under 21, eligible age 18, costs $10. Valid 0 to 3 years based on document verification status. To obtain the under 21 full driver license, you must satisfy the requirement for an immediate license. This includes having no alcohol-related convictions or traffic convictions in the last 12 months, have a valid intermediate license. Your driving privilege cannot be suspended, revoked, or denied when you apply for a full driver license. Pass the vision and road sign recognition test. You are not required to pass the written and driving test if already completed. If you are under 21 years of age, the Department of Revenue will issue you a license identifying you as a minor. When you become 21 years old, you may apply and pay for another driver's license without the minor indication, or wait until your under 21 driver license expires. A checklist for you. You must have the following documents with you when you apply for a Missouri driver's license. Checklist for you. Missouri driver's license, instruction permit, or non-driver license. Take all the documents with you to a contact office when you apply for your license or permit. New Missouri residential transferring an out-of-state driver license, valid or expired no more than 184 days. Out-of-state driver license, valid or expired no more than 184 days. Verification of name, date of birth, place of birth, social security number, and Missouri residential address. Note, if you are upgrading your driver's license, take the above documents with you to a Missouri State Highway Patrol MSHP examination location when you take the written vision and road sign test and or driving test. First time applicant. Verification of name, date, birth, place of birth, social security number, Missouri residential address. The term driver examination record, DOR 100, indicating successful completion of tests. Not required for driver license. Renewal license. All drivers renewing will have to show verification of name, date of birth, place of birth, social security number, and Missouri residential address. Exemption. If you are renewing a non-commercial permanent driver license or non-driver license, if you are age 65 or older, you are exempt from presenting documents for place of birth. Please refer to the list of acceptable documents in this chapter. Note, additional documents or verifications of SSN may be required. In the documentation submitted is questionable, or if the contract office clerk of MSHP examiner has reason to question the validity or authenticity of the documents or needs further verification. All right, we on chapter 2 now, driver examination. I am going to check my text real quick. Ugh. Alright. I'm not going to check Snapchat. My phone's on 2%. It's about to die anyway. Oh, alright. Let's get into Chapter 2. The driver exam. You are encouraged to study this driver guide before you attempt the written exam. Almost 50% of all test takers fail the first time. You will have a much better chance of passing your test if you take time to review this guide. The driver examination. The driver examination consists of a 4-part test. A written test on traffic laws and rules for safe driving. A vision test, a road sign test, a driving test skills. You must be prepared to take the driver exam if you are applying for a new Missouri driver's license. Note, if you have a driver's license from another state that is valid or has been expired for less than 184 days and you are applying for the same type of license in Missouri, you only have to make the vision and road sign tests. You only have to take the vision and road sign tests. Your Missouri driver's license expired for more than 6 months, 184 days. The Director of Revenue asked you to take the exam even if you have a current driver's license. Your license was revoked because you had too many points in your driving record or because of administration alcohol action. See Chapter 10. Where to take the exam. The Missouri State Highway Patrol, MSHP, administers the driving examination. To find the testing center nearest to you, contact the MSHP Department of Revenue. The phone numbers for the Department of Revenue and MSHP are on the back of this guide. You can... There's nothing on the back. Where was I? Back of this guide. You can also find these locations on the MSHP website, www.blah. Verification of your name and age. Before you can take the driver exam, verification of your name and age. Before you can take the driver exam, you must prove your legal name and age. This identification must also be shown to the Department of Revenue when applying for a driver license or permit. And any time you take the written or driving test, refer to Chapter 1 for a list of acceptable documents for verification of name, date of birth, place of birth, social security number, and Missouri residential address. Written test, driver license Class F. What time is it? 10:27. When did I start this? Like 9:05, I thought. Must have been like 9:15, 9:25. Written test, driver's license, Class F. Ooh, am I off the thing? No, I'm not. Right here. If you are applying for a Class F operator license, you must take a 25-question multiple-choice written test. The questions will be on the laws and methods of driving covered in this guide. The test is not an open book test. You will be tested on the information on the commercial vehicles in Chapter 15. For higher license, Class E. If you are applying for a Class E for higher license, you must take a special written test. The questions will be on the laws and methods of driving covered in this guide, but will also include the information on commercial vehicles found in Chapter 15. The test is not an open book test. Vision test. You must take an acuity vision test, and a peripheral side vision test when you apply for any new or renewal driver license or permit. The standard minimum acuity whatever is at least 20/40 with either or both eyes. If you wear glasses or contact lenses, you may need them for the vision test. The standard minimum peripheral reading is at least 55 degrees in each eye or 85 degrees in one eye. If you are unable to meet the vision standards as required, you may be denied a license or restriction may be placed on your license. If you fail the standard vision test, the examiner will give you a vision exam form that your eye specialist or physician must fill out. If the physician prescribes glasses or contact lenses to correct... Sorry, my phone went off. It distracted me. Contact lenses to correct your vision, you may have to wait for the glasses or contact lenses before the written and or driving test may be given. If both your natural and corrected acuity vision, I don't know what that word is, are worse than 160, or your peripheral combined is worse than 70 degrees, you cannot take the driving test and cannot have a driver's license. Road sign test. The road sign test will check your ability to recognize and understand traffic signs. Driving test. After you pass the written, vision, and road sign test, you may then take the driving test. You will take the driving test with a driver license examiner of the Missouri State Highway Patrol. The examiner will also check your vehicle for the required equipment. The examiner will also check your vehicle for its safe operating condition. You cannot take the test if the vehicle is not properly equipped or the examiner believes that giving the test will be dangerous. You should take the test in a vehicle that is familiar to you. The vehicle must have current license plates and a valid inspection sticker, seat belts in proper working order, doors in proper working order for the driver and examiner, a clean, safe seat for the examiner, 2 sets of brakes, parking and foot brake in good working order, a horn in good working order. You will drive and the examiner will sit beside you. No one else may ride in the vehicle during the test. Avoid unnecessary conversation with the examiner and focus on your driving. Remember, the examiner's job is to test, not teach. You must obey all Missouri traffic laws at all times. The examiner will ask you to find and use the vehicle's controls, such as an accelerator, brakes, turn signals, windshield wipers, etc. You will be tested for finding the control without searching, using the control correctly. The examiner will ask you to start driving. You will be tested for starting the vehicle, releasing the parking brake, looking to see if the way is clear, giving the proper signal, driving smoothly and at the correct speed. The examiner will tell you where to drive, turn, stop, etc. After the examiner tells you what to do, you will have enough time to look for traffic and to drive as asked. You will be asked to do the following: start and stop the vehicle. You will be tested for the smoothness and safety of your starts and stops, your reaction time, your control of the vehicle when stopping. Park parallel to the curb in a space 25 feet long and 7 feet wide. You will be tested for the position of your vehicle before backing, whether or not you bump into the space markers, moving into the space smoothly and at the right speed, parking no more than 18 inches from the curb, parking near the center of the space, ability to park for the vehicle within 2 minutes, turning the wheels in the correct direction for parking, checking traffic and signaling before you leave the parking space. Backing, you'll be tested for looking over your right shoulder to see through the rear glass, whether your vehicle backs in a straight line or weaves, staying in the proper lane of traffic, backing at the right speed. Make at least 2 right and 2 left turns. You will be tested for driving in the correct lane for... Oh, what is in my eye? It itches. Driving in the correct lane for turning, giving the proper turn signal at the proper time, turning into the proper lane, making proper traffic checks, turning at the right speed, examiner and focus on your driving. Oh geez, I'm way off. Sorry guys. I'm on number 4 by the way. Making proper traffic checks, turning at the right speed. Oh, my phone. Look at my phone. Look at my phone. It's just getting spammed. Make at least 2 right and 2 left turns. You'll be tested for... Oh, I read that. Remember, the examiner's job is to test, not teach. You must obey all Missouri traffic laws at all times. Park on a hill. You'll be tested for your control of the vehicle, parking no more than 18 inches from the curb, leaving your vehicle... Why am I reading diagonally? Leaving your vehicle in park or the correct gear, turning the front wheels in the correct direction for parking, setting the parking brake, checking traffic and signaling. Enter and leave at intersections. You'll be tested for understanding and obeying the traffic signs and lights, your speed when approaching the intersection, your awareness of the traffic around you, driving in the correct lane, yielding the right of way without blocking traffic, making a full stop at the proper place at stop signs, understand and obey traffic signs and signals. You'll be tested for noticing and obeying traffic signs and signals. The examiner will watch for your use of good driving rules. You will be tested for the distance between... Make sure that's on the top. The distance between your vehicle and the vehicle in front of you. Your speed while driving in the proper lane and obeying lane markings. Your awareness of the traffic around you. Yielding the right of way when necessary. Your grade. Throughout the driving test, the examiner will subtract points for any driving errors you 30 points, you will fail the test. If you lose more than 30 points, you will fail the test. You will also fail the test if you are in a traffic accident with another vehicle and it's your fault, hit a pedestrian, drive so dangerously you might have caused an accident, violate a traffic law, refuse to drive as the examiner asks. When you pass the driving skills test, you will be given a form with your test results. Before you drive, you must apply for apply and obtain a license at an application office or license office. Am I stupid? The test result form itself is not valid for driving. Failing the driving test. If you fail a driving test, the examiner will suggest that you practice before retaking the test. You may take only one driving test per day. If you fail the driving test 3 times, no further test will be allowed without written authorization from the Department of Revenue. Ooh, probably going to fail it 3 times. The driver examiner will give you a form that you must send to the department. After you send the form to the department, you will receive a letter from the department requiring additional behind-the-wheel driver training. You must send proof. Where am I? Oh, it doesn't have that here. You must send proof. Oh yeah, it does. You must send proof of the additional driver training before you will be allowed to take the driving test again. It is a crime to commit fraud. Anyone who makes a false unsworn statement or affidavit who commits I can't read all it said, or assists another person committing a fraud or deception during any examination process for a Missouri license, permit, or non-driver license is guilty of fraud. Fraud is a Class A misdemeanor that may result in the loss of your driving privilege for up to 1 year. Some examples of fraud could include cheating or using or attempting to use any recording, photographic, or two-way communication device during any testing process. Kind of like SpongeBob Patrick. All right, we're at Chapter 3. Let's see what text I got. All right, let's get going with Chapter 3. Now we got some pavement markings, traffic lights, and signals. Pavement markings on the road. Lines and symbols on the roadway indicate a number of things to drivers. Where lanes are divided, where you may pass other vehicles or change lanes. Which lanes... Seeing how far we were, we still got a lot to go. Ugh. Lines and symbols on the roadway indicate a number of things to drivers. Where lanes are divided, where you may... my phone's still going. Where you may pass other vehicles or change lanes. Which lanes to use for turns. Where pedestrians' walkways are located. And where you must stop for signals and traffic signals. Meanings of pavement markings. Lines. Broken lines may be crossed in a passing maneuver. Solid lines should not be crossed in a passing maneuver. Colors. Yellow divides oncoming traffic. White divides same direction traffic. Direction of traffic. If the line on the left is moving of you is yellow and the traffic on the other side of the line is moving the opposite direction. I don't know what that meant. If the line on the left of you is white, the traffic is moving in the same direction. A solid white line means the right edge marks the right edge of many roads. The center marking for roads with 4 lanes consists of 2 solid yellow lines. The yellow line tells you the traffic on the other side of the line is moving the opposite direction. You should never cross 2 solid yellow lines to pass. No passing zones. 2-lane roads may have no passing zones marked with a solid yellow line. No passing zones on hills, curves, or where you can... What? Okay. No passing zone are on hills or curves where you cannot see far enough ahead to pass safely. You must complete passing before you enter the no passing zone. I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to go do something. It shouldn't take that long. Here's the next page. Ugh. So I think I have pink eye. I don't know if you can see it. My eye is really, really red. Not good. I'm so sore. Oh, let's get back into it. When you see a solid yellow line on your side of your center line, do not try to pass on any two-lane road. Never pass if you cannot see the road. Text still going off. This is so distracting. Why now? Do not try to pass on any two-lane road. Never pass if you cannot see the road is clear for the distance you need to make a pass, even if there is no marking on the roadway. Left turn lanes. Some roads have marked left turn lanes. Notice the solid yellow lines and the thick yellow strips in the illustration below. Crosswalks and stop lines. When required to stop because of a sign or a signal, you must stop before your vehicle reaches the stop line, or if there is one, the crosswalk on the cross. If there is one, the crosswalk. Oh, or if there is one, the crosswalk. Crosswalks define the area where pedestrians are to cross the roadway. You must yield to pedestrians in or about to enter a crosswalk. Not all crosswalks are marked. Be alert for pedestrians when crossing intersections that do not have defined crosswalks. Dual use lanes. You know what? I'm listening to music while I do this. That's not against the rules. Alright. You know, let's listen to the song that I just hummed. Didn't even mean to, but don't want it to be too loud. What? Don't know if it's gonna play music. It's stuck on an ad. That could be reading. There we go. Gonna turn it way down. Crosswalks and stop lines. When required to stop because of a sign signal. Did I already read this? Yeah, I did. Dual use lanes. Dual use lanes have both a turn arrow and a straight arrow. When both arrows appear on the electric traffic signal, you may either go turn or go straight. But if you want to turn and only the straight arrow is showing, you must wait for the turn arrow. Reversible. Oh, there's so much words on this page. Reversible express lanes. Some travel lanes are designed to carry traffic in one direction at certain times and in the opposite direction at other times. These lanes are usually marked by double-dashed yellow lines. Before you start driving in them, check to see which lanes you can use at the time. There may be signs posted by the side of a road or overhead. Sometimes special lights are used. A green arrow means you can use the lane beneath it. A red X means you may not. Shared center lanes. Vehicles moving in both directions may use these center lanes for marking left turns or U-turns when they are permitted. On the pavement, left turn arrows for traffic in one direction alternate with left turn arrows for traffic coming from the other direction. These lanes are marked on each side by a solid yellow and dashed yellow lines. Turns from this lane as soon as your path is clear. Turn from this lane as soon as your path is clear. No lane markings. When there are no signs or markings to control the use of lanes, there are rules that indicate which lane is to be used. These rules cover general driving, passing, and turning. General driving. In general, never back a vehicle in any travel lane. Drivers do not expect a vehicle to be backing towards them and may not realize until it's too late. If you miss your turn or exit, do not back up. Go on to where you can safely turn around. Do not stop in travel lanes for any reason. Confusion, breakdown, or letting out a passenger. Keep moving until you can safely pull off the road. On a road with 3 or more lanes traveling in the same direction, stay in the right lane. Except to pass. If there's a considerable amount of traffic on entering the new right on the right travel lane, then use the center travel lane. Passing on multi-lane roads, the leftmost lane is intended to be used to pass slower vehicles. If you pass on the right and the other driver may have difficulty seeing you and might suddenly change lanes in front of you. Never pass on the shoulder. Other drivers will not expect Those hazy days I do remember. Other drivers would not expect you to be there. You may pull off the road without walking. Traffic officers. You must obey traffic officers at all times. If you see a traffic officer giving directions, do what he or she says and ignore any traffic signs or signals. For example, if the officer signals you to stop at a green light, you must stop. Traffic signals. Traffic signals are lights that tell you when or where to stop and go. Open arms. Flashing signal all directions. Flashing traffic signals may occur during emergencies, nighttime / low traffic volume periods, and special events. I'm shaking. Why am I doing that? Flashing traffic signals have the following meaning. A flashing red light means the same thing as a stop sign. A flashing yellow light tells you to slow down and proceed with caution. Traffic control signals. Traffic controls include traffic signals, traffic signs, and pavement markings. Traffic control can also be provided by law enforcement, highway personnel, or school crossing guards. You must obey directions from these persons. A red light tells you to stop at a stop line, crosswalk, or before the intersection. Unless you are making a right turn, you must wait for the signal to turn green before you can proceed. After making a complete stop, you may turn right on a red light if the way is clear of pedestrians and traffic. However, you may not turn red on the right light when there is no red on red sign posted. A steady yellow light tells you the traffic signal is changing from green to red. Stop for a steady yellow light unless you are within the intersection or are so close that you cannot safely stop before entering the intersection. A green light tells you that you can go through the intersection. However, you must first yield the right of way to traffic and pedestrians who are still in the intersection. Left turn signals. When turning left at a green light, there are 3 types of left turn signal phases. What song is going to play? It's going to be good, hopefully. I'm just on YouTube. Permissive. Vehicles are given a circular green or a flashing yellow arrow and required to wait for an adequate gap in opposing traffic prior. My phone just died. That's great. Prior to making a turn. Protected. Vehicles may turn only when they receive a green arrow, while opposing vehicles are stopped by a red light. This type of control is commonly signed left turn signal. Protective / permissive. Vehicles are given a protected phase green arrow or permissive circular green or flashing yellow arrow phase. When drivers must choose an adequate gap in opposing traffic, this type of control, when used with a circular green, is commonly cited left turn yield on green. A steady yellow arrow appears after a green arrow. It tells you the green arrow will be changing to a circular green light, a flashing yellow arrow, or a red light. You must be ready to yield the right of way on oncoming traffic or to stop. Oh, geez. Sorry, guys. I missed this entire page. That's what I was just reading. A flashing yellow arrow tells you that you are allowed to drive in the direction of the arrow is pointing, but are required to wait for an adequate gap in opposing traffic prior to making your turn. Green arrow tells you that you can drive in the direction the arrow is pointing. You must be in the proper lane and the way must be clear of all traffic and pedestrians. Dark signals. That was a yawn. I don't know why I'm counting my yawns. I'm going to get bored, so I might as well. Or I already am bored, so I might as well. Lane use control signals. Lane use control signals tell you which lanes you may drive in on a roadway. You will not see these signals directly over a lane. They control red X. Do not drive in this lane. Green arrow. You may lose this lane. Simple. If you are driving in a traffic arrow lane and the arrow turns to a red X, do not panic. The oncoming traffic will not receive a green arrow for that lane until you have had time to change lanes. Traffic signals. Traffic signs tell you about traffic rules, hazards, where you are, how to get where you are going, and where services are located. The shape and color of these signals give clues to the type of information they provide. Sign colors: red, stop, yield, or prohibited; yellow, warning; black, regulatory; white, regulatory; brown. I literally cannot tell the difference between brown and black. On here you can, but on here it's near impossible. Equals public, recreation, and cultural interests. Yellow - orange. What? Road signs. Orange, construction. Green, direction, distance. Blue, motorist services. Sign shapes: octagon equals stop. Round is railroad. Triangle is yield. Crossbuck, railroad. Vertical, rectangle, regulatory. Pennant, no passing zone. Horizontal rectangle, guide. Diamond, warning. Pentagon, school. Horizontal rectangle, parks and recreation. Bum bum, bum bum, bum bum, bum bum, bada bada bum bum. Warning signs. These are signs of yellow and black lettering or symbols are used, usually diamond shaped. These signs warn you to slow down and be prepared to stop if necessary because a special situation or a hazard is ahead. Some common warnings are signs as shown below. Traffic control, bicycle crossing, yield to I missed this whole page. Bicycle crossing, yield to bicycle riders or on any bike trail which crosses a road, signal ahead. This is, okay, sorry, the song was stuck in my head. There is a traffic light signal ahead on the road you are on. Be prepared to stop. Pedestrian crossing. Oh, these pages are going to go so fast. Thank the Lord. Pedestrian crossing. Yield to pedestrians walking in the crosswalk. Slow down. School crossing. Slow down. Watch for children crossing the road. Note, this sign is being transitioned to neon green. The transition will take effect within the next 10 years. Oh, look at that. Speed advisory. Highway ramp. The highway entry/exit ramp has a speed advisory. An added lane. Traffic from another road will be entering the road. No merging is necessary because a lane has been added. Begin divided roadway. The roadway will soon become two-way traffic divided by a median or barrier. End divided roadway. The two-way traffic will no longer be divided by something or a barrier. Merge. Traffic from another road will be entering the road. Be prepared for vehicles to move into your lane. Lane ends. Lane ends/merge left. 2 lanes of traffic will soon become 1 lane of traffic. If you are in the right lane, oh, sorry. Driving in the left lane. Turns and curves in the road. Curve sign. The curve sign is used to warn of a curve where the recommended speed is less than the posted speed limit for the highway. Right angle turn. A turn sign is used to warn a sharp turn or turn where the recommended maximum speed is 30 miles per hour or less. Reverse turn. A reverse turn sign is used to warn 2 turns in opposite directions. The second turn may be sharper than the first. Recommended maximum speed is 30 miles per hour or less. Speed advisory. Curve and turn signs have an advisory speed plate that shows the recommended speed for... These pages are going so fast. Sorry, guys. I doubt anybody's watching, but if somebody happens to be, sorry. At a higher speed in fair weather. You should never do so in rain, snow, or icy conditions. Gonna remember, turn the page this time. Large arrow may be seen on the outside of a turn. Slow down for a sharp change of direction of travel. Chevron may be used instead of a large arrow sign to outline the edge of a curving road or to the supplement. Sorry, I'm growing a little soul patch. I didn't think I was growing hair there. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. Was weird. The large arrow sign, object marker, are used to notify drivers of objects in the roadway or very close to the edge of the roadway. The sign emphasizes the need to not stray outside of the marked lane. Soft shoulder. The soft shoulder on the side of the road is soft. Do not drive on the pavement. Off the pavement. Slow moving vehicle. A reflective orange triangle on the rear vehicle means it is traveling less than 25 miles per hour. You may see this sign on construction equipment or farm vehicles. Slippery when wet. The road ahead becomes unusually slippery in wet weather. Drive carefully in these conditions. Road intersections. Slide road railroad crossing. Whoa. A warning of a railroad crossing very close to an intersection. Use caution when crossing tracks. Intersection. Another road crosses the road. Watch carefully for traffic crossing your path. Side road ahead. Oh my gosh. Sorry. So sorry. Side road ahead. Another road enters the road from the direction shown on the sign. T intersection ahead. The road you are traveling does not continue. You must turn either right or left. Roundabout ahead. Roundabout intersection is ahead. Slow down is required by the speed restriction sign and follow the road rules for roundabouts. Regulatory signs. Many regulatory signs are square, rectangular shaped, and are white with black or red letters or symbols. They give you information about rules for traffic direction, lane use, turning speed, parking, and other special situations. Some regulatory signs have a red circle with a red slash over a symbol. These indicate you cannot do something. For example, no left turn or no U-turn. Oh man, we got more. How close am I to the end of this? Oops. We're almost a third of the way through the book. And it's only been an hour and 35. Other common types of regulatory signs are stop sign. A stop sign is red with white letters and has 8 sides. When you see a stop sign, you must come to a full stop. You must wait until the crossing vehicle and pedestrians have cleared at the intersection. You must stop at the stop line if one is present, even if it is located past the stop sign. If there's no stop sign, pull up and stop near the edges of the intersection. Look both ways and proceed when it is safe. A. Stop before the stop line. Or B. Stop before the crosswalk. C. If there's no stop line or crosswalk, stop before entering the intersection. A yield sign is triangular. It is red and it is white with red letters. Oh, it is red and white with red letters. It means you must slow down and yield the right-of-way traffic in the intersection you are crossing or roadway you are entering. Wrong way sign. You made a wrong turn and have entered a lane of oncoming traffic. As quickly and safely as possible, pull off the road, turn back and go back. Turn around and go back. Do not enter sign. When you see the sign at road openings, do not enter this road. Lane control signs. I forgot again. Lane control signs. These signals use an arrow symbol to tell which direction you can go from each lane. These signals along the road or hanging over the road. Speed limit signs. Speed limit signs indicate the maximum speed allowed by law and do not mean that all parts of the road can be safely driven at those speeds under all conditions. The speed limit is the maximum allowable speed in ideal conditions. Adjust your speed for hills, curves, slippery roadways, limited sight distances, pedestrians, bicyclists, and slow-moving vehicles. These conditions may make the posted speed limit unsafe. By law, when conditions demand it, you must slow down. Interstate highways also have minimum speed limits. If this minimum speed limit is too fast for you, you should use another route. You may not drive slower than 40 miles per hour on interstate highways under normal roadway conditions. Use the following guide unless posted speed limits direct otherwise. Rural interstates and freeways 70, rural expressways 65, interstate highways, freeways, or expressways with urbanized areas 60. All other roads and highways not located in an urbanized area 60. Littered roads 55. The speed limit in any city, town, or village is 25 miles per hour. Unless posted otherwise, the Missouri Highway and Transportation Commission has the authority to set speed limits higher or lower than the uniform maximum speed limits for safety reasons to expedite the flow of traffic. There are 13 interstates in Missouri. The speed limit is posted 60 miles per hour when these interstates are near within the following 5 Missouri cities: St. Louis, Kansas City, Columbia, St. Joseph, and Springfield. Railroad crossing sign. Many railroad crossings have signs or signals to warn drivers. The round advance warning tells you that you are nearing a railroad crossing. Never try to beat a train across the tracks. Never start to cross the tracks until there's room for your vehicle on the other side of the tracks. If it is not wise to shift gears when crossing railroad tracks, just in case your vehicle might stall. You may also see a pavement markings before crossing, like the round advance warning spin. Pavement markings tell you that you are nearing a railroad crossing. Remember it at this time, you sick, disgusting. A white X shape. I'm actually gonna go get my. No, I'm gonna wait till this chapter's over. We're almost done. But I'm gonna charge my phone. A white X-shaped sign or crossbuck is located at the railroad crossing. This sign is the same meaning as a yield sign. Therefore, you must yield to trains at crossings. The sign under the crossbuck tells you how many tracks cross the road. At some crossings along the crossbuck sign, you will see the side-by-side red lights that flash alternatively. At some crossings, there is also a crossing gate, some with a bell that will lower when the train is coming. At both of these signals equipped at crossings, you must stop and you cannot cross the tracks until the train is passed. Pain train. When you see any of these signs, slow down, look for a train, and be ready to stop. You must stop if the red lights are flashing or if the gate is down. You must stop within 15 to 50 feet before the railroad tracks. Do not try to go around the gate. The red lights The red lights may continue to flash after the train is gone. If there are 2 or more tracks, look for the second train before you cross. Work zone signs. Work zone signs are fluorescent orange and indicate some type of work is being performed on or along the side of the roadway. Be careful when you see these signs. There may be other traffic controls devices or flag persons to help you direct the safety through the work zone. If you are caught speeding or passing in a construction zone or work zone on Missouri state roadways, you could be fined a minimum of $250 for the first offense and a minimum of $300 for the second or subsequent offense, in addition to any other fine authorized by law according to State Statute 305.582. I don't want to read all this. Guide signs. These signs are square or rectangular and are green or brown with white lettering. They show direction and distance to various locations such as cities, airports, and state lines, or to special areas such as national parks, historical areas, and museums. Surface signs. These signs are square or rectangular and are blue with white letters or symbols. They show the location of various services such as rest areas, gas stations, campgrounds, and hospitals. Route signs. The shape of route signs indicates the type of roadway, interstate, United States, state, or county. When planning a trip, use a highway map to determine your route. During the trip, follow the route signs. This will help you so that you will not get lost. North-south routes are identified by odd numbers. East-west roads are identified by even numbers. Interstate highways that loop around cities are identified by 3-digit even numbers. Roadways that direct traffic in cities' road systems called spurs are identified by 3-digit odd numbers. What is it talking about? Understanding the exit numbers is easy when you know interstates traveling west/east are numbered starting from the west and going east. This means exit numbers start at 0 and increase as you drive east. Likewise, if you come from the east, the numbers will decrease to the west. Interstates that travel north/south have their exits numbered beginning at the point south and increasing north. If you enter the state from the north and drive south, then the exit numbers decrease. Emergency reference markers. Emergency reference markers are mile markers placed along the outside shoulder to mark the edge of the roadway and convey information to the drivers about their location on the interstate for navigation and emergency situations. The reference markers are located every 0.2 of a mile, so motorists will be always inside of the sign. They will tell the direction of travel and route number. Alright, we're a third of the way through the book, or I think we are. Which page is this? What? 43. And my stuff went down. Alright, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get my phone charger. Why are you following me, dog? What do you want? What do you want, some money? My dog has decided to join me for this, so we're gonna close the door with her in here with us. We're gonna read with her. Right, Maisie? Alright, Chapter 4, Rules of the Road. Your highest duty as a motorist is to drive your vehicle. Sorry, I was looking at my dog. Highest duty of... Do you want down? You want down? You want to go down? Or you want to stay up here? Yeah, she went down. She went down. Your highest duty as a motorist is to drive your vehicle carefully and prudently. Your speed and manner of driving must create a safe environment for yourself and other road users, including pedestrians, cyclists, and other motorists. Right-of-way, where vehicles or pedestrians are likely to meet one another and there are no signals or signals to regulate traffic. There are rules that say who must yield the right-of-way. These rules tell drivers who goes first and who must wait in different traffic situations. Don't you dare pee on the floor. Hey, don't do it. Don't do it, Maisie. Go lay down. Passing. Passing is dangerous maneuver where the dangers are compounded by intersections. Other vehicles within an intersection and two-lane roads. Refer to no passing zone in Chapter 3. If you are caught speeding or passing a construction zone or work zone on Missouri state roadways, you could be fined a minimum of $250 for the first offense and a minimum of $300 for the second or subsequent offense, in addition to any other fine authorized by law according to State Statute 305-582. Use the same care when passing a pedestrian or cyclist as when passing a motor vehicle. You may need to slow down and wait for a safe opportunity to pass a pedestrian or cyclist, just as you would for any other slow-moving traffic. Passing on the right. The driver of a motor vehicle may overtake and pass to the right of another vehicle only under the following conditions: when the vehicle overtaking is making or about to make a left turn upon a city street with unobstructed pavement or of sufficient width for two or more lines of vehicles in each direction, upon a one-way street, upon any highway outside of a city with unobstructed pavement, or upon any highway outside of a city with unobstructed pavement of sufficiently width and clearly marked for four or more lanes of traffic. In no event shall such movements be made by driving off the paved or main traveled portion of the roadway shoulder. Passing on the left. No vehicle shall at any time be driven to the left side of the roadway under the following conditions: when approaching the crest of a grade or upon a curve of the highway where the driver's view is obstructed within such distance as to create a hazard in the event another vehicle might approach from the opposite direction. When the view is obstructed upon approaching within 100 feet of any bridge, viaduct, or tunnel. When approaching within 100 feet of or at any intersection or railroad crossing, or when there is a yellow solid line. Right. There's a lot of words here. I don't like that. I do not like that at all. Dang it, I don't want to. Intersections. The following right-of-way rules apply to intersections. Drivers must yield when necessary to avoid striking pedestrians who are legally crossing the road. Drivers crossing a sidewalk, entering or exiting a driveway, alley, or parking lot must yield to pedestrians. It is illegal to drive on the sidewalk except to cross. Drivers turning left must yield to oncoming vehicles going straight at a four-way stop. The driver reaching the intersection first may proceed before the other drivers after coming to a complete stop. Drivers entering a road from a driveway, alley, or roadside must yield to vehicles already on the main road. At an intersection where there is no stop sign or traffic signal, with the exception of roundabouts, drivers must yield to vehicles coming from the right. When approaching a roundabout intersection, always yield to traffic in the circle and pedestrians in the crosswalks. Wait for a gap in traffic before entering. Emergency vehicles. You must yield the right-of-way to police, fire, ambulance, or any other emergency vehicles using a siren or an air horn. And a red or blue flashing light. Pull over to the right edge of the road as near to the right as possible. When you see or hear an emergency vehicle approaching from any direction, if you are in an intersection, drive through the intersection before you pull over. Remain stopped until the emergency vehicle passes. Follow any instructions given over the emergency vehicle's loudspeaker. Emergency vehicles may follow each other, so proceed only when the way is clear. So it has to be June 22nd, everybody. When approaching a stationary emergency vehicle displaying lighted red or red and blue lights, you must proceed with caution, and if it is safe to do so, make a lane change into a lane not adjacent to the stationary vehicle. If a roadway having at least 4 lanes with not less than 2 lanes proceeding in the same direction as approaching vehicles, or proceed with due caution and reduce the speed of the vehicle, maintaining a safe. What are you doing, dog? It's maintaining a safe speed for road conditions if changing lanes would be unsafe or impossible. For more information regarding the moreover law, see page 116. School buses. When a school bus stops or unloads when a school bus stops to load or unload school children, the driver activates a mechanical and electrical signaling device to notify other drivers of an impending stop. Amber warning lights will flash 500 feet before the bus and bus comes to a designated stop. When the school bus is stopped, the alternating flashing red lights and the stop signal arm are activated. Oncoming and following traffic must stop before they reach the bus. Oh shoot! No, I'm on the right page. Okay, reach the bus when these signals are activated. You must stop. 1. On a 2-lane road where the bus vehicles travel in each direction. 2. On a 2-lane road where there is a one-way street. No driver of a school bus shall take on or discharge passengers at any location upon a highway consisting of 4 or more lanes of traffic, whether or not divided by a median or barrier in such a manner as to require the passengers to cross more than 2 lanes of traffic. The following are situations where you do not have to stop. When you are traveling the opposite direction of a school bus on a highway divided by a median, where the vehicles traveling one direction are on a totally separate road from the vehicles traveling the opposite direction. When you are traveling the opposite direction of a school bus on a highway containing 4 or more lanes of traffic, or when a school bus is stopped in a loading zone at a school where students are not permitted to cross the roadway. After stopping for a school bus that is unloading school children, watch for What are you eating, nasty dog? Watch for school children walking along the side of the road. You must remain stopped until the bus moves or the bus driver signals you to proceed with caution. Hands and vehicle signals. Before you stop or change lanes, let others know what you are going to do by signaling. You can signal with your hand and your arm or with your vehicle's turn signals and brake lights. You should signal at least 100 feet before you turn so the other drivers can be ready. Check your vehicle's turn signals often to ensure they are working properly. The picture shows the correct hand signals to use when you are turning or stopping. As a good driver, you should get into the proper turn lane and signal at least 100 feet before you turn. Before you make any turn, you should look for what did I do? Oh, sorry guys. Yeah, here's the signals. Look before you do blah 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 or pedestrians. If there are no signs or lane markings to control turning, you should turn from the lane that is closest to the direction you want to go and turn to the lane closest to the one you came from. This way you will cross the fewest lanes of traffic when making turns. Go from one lane to the other as smoothly as possible without crossing lane lines or interfering with traffic. Once you have completed your turn, you can change to another lane if you need to. U-turns. You should only make a U-turn when it is safe. U-turns should not be made on any curve or near the crest of a hill where the vehicle may not be seen by other drivers. Some towns and cities do not allow U-turns. Never make a U-turn at a location that is marked with no U-turn sign or at an intersection controlled by a traffic signal or police officer. Right turns. On right turns... Okay, I'm on the right page. On right turns, avoid swinging. Avoid swinging wide to the left before turning. If you swing wide, the driver behind you may think you are changing lanes or going to turn left and may try to pass you on the right. If you swing wide as you complete the turn, drivers who are in the far lane will not expect to see you there and it could cause an accident. Left turns. When making a left turn, avoid cutting the corner so sharply that you run into someone approaching from the left. However, you must leave room for oncoming vehicles to turn left in front of you. One-way street onto a two-way street. Begin the turn in the left lane. Enter the two-way road to the right of its yellow dividing lines. The two-way road is a 4-lane road. If the two-way road is a 4-lane road, you must enter... I think I have pink eye, to be honest. It's just so bad. Two-way 4-lane road, you may enter the traffic lane if the lane is free of traffic. Two-way street onto a one-way street. Begin the turn with your left wheel as close as possible to the vehicle dividing line. If the one-way road has 2 lanes, turn it to the left lane or the right lane, whichever is free of traffic. Two-way street onto a two-way street onto a two-way street. Begin the turn with your left wheels as close to as possible to the dividing line. Enter the road. I'm gonna pass out. Too much words. I haven't talked for this consistently for this big of a, whatever. I can't make words. Where was I? Multiple left turn lanes. Some streets may have more than one lane marked for left turns. If you are turning from the left side, left turn lane, enter the left lane on the right of the dividing yellow line. If you are turning from the right side, left turn lane, enter the right lane. Two-way left turn lanes. Some streets have a center lane marked as a two-way left turn lane. Only after this lane when preparing to slow down or stop before making a left turn from the main roadway. Do not use this lane as a travel lane. A vehicle may not travel in this lane more than 500 feet. And do not use this lane when entering the roadway from a side street. I did not go to that page. Who cares? Roundabouts. Whoa. This page is different. Alright, I'll just read what I see. Roundabout intersections. At a roundabout, drivers who approach the intersection make a slight right turn to go counterclockwise around a circular center island. The driver may then exit the roundabout onto a different roadway or continue on the same roadway. When approaching a roundabout, always yield to traffic in the circle and pedestrians in the crosswalks. Local ordinances. Local governments may make traffic ordinances in addition to laws made by the state. You must obey any traffic sign or regulation, whether set by a municipality, county, or the state. Citizens and towns may have regulations to do the following: set speed limits, set one-way streets, set stop signs at intersections, prohibit commercial vehicles from using certain streets, control parking by installing meters. How do I get industrial? Or by some other reasonable method. Control turns. Require the use of turn signals, brake lights, and horns on all motor vehicles. Prohibit the use of sound-producing warning devices. Always use your turn signals before turning or changing lanes. I'm going to let my dog out real quick. Hey, go on there. Go on. Good girl. I don't want her being tortured like I am. Oh, I almost fell. Alright, Chapter 5, Parking. Whoa. Yeah, this is all not in the book, I swear. It goes right from the roundabout to Chapter 5, as you can see. Chapter 5. Chapter 5, Parking. We're 50 out of 130. That is past a third of the way. But we're not quite halfway. We're getting halfway. We're getting there. Roundabout intersections. At a roundabout, drivers who approach the... Oh, what am I doing? I just read that. Chapter 5, Parking. Drivers are responsible for making sure their vehicles do not become hazards after they have been parked. Good night. I will tomorrow. Whenever you park your vehicle, be sure it is in a place that is far enough from any travel lane to avoid interfering with traffic and visible vehicles approaching from either direction. Always park in a designated area if possible. On one-way streets, you may normally park on either the right or left side of the street. Always set your parking brake when you park. Leave vehicles in gear if it has a manual transmission, or in park if it has an automatic transmission. Check traffic before you open the door. Get out of the vehicle on the curbside if you can. If you have to use a street side, check traffic before you get out. Always have passengers, especially children, exit the vehicle on the curbside. Check for bicyclists who often travel as the right-hand side of the door near parked cars. Shut the door as soon as you can after getting out. Never leave the keys in a parked vehicle. Oh, my eye. Lock the doors whenever you leave your vehicle if it will be out of your signal anytime. If you must park on the roadway, park your vehicle as far away from the traffic as possible. If there's a curb, park as close to it as you can. When you park on the hill, turn your wheels sharply towards the right, towards the side of the road. This way, if your vehicle starts to roll downhill or roll away from the traffic, refer to parking on hills. No parking zones. There are many areas where you cannot park. Check signals that may be prohibited or limit parking. Some parking restrictions are indicated by colored club markings. Do not park in an intersection, on a crosswalk or sidewalk, across a driveway or entrance, across on the left side of a two-way street, alongside a curb that is painted yellow, on a bridge, blocking a fire hydrant, blocking the normal traffic flow, or creating a hazard to other drivers with your vehicle facing against traffic. When can you park in handicap parking spaces? Handicap parking spaces may only be used when the vehicle displays a handicapped person placard or license plates and a physically handicapped person and the occupant of a motor vehicle at the time of parking, or a physically handicapped person and the vehicle dropped off or being picked up. And this thing's coming out of its cover. Can't really tell, but it's definitely kind of loose. I don't know, whatever. International symbol of access. This symbol marks spaces for vehicles operated by or used to transport people with handicaps. Violators, when convicted, shall be punished by a fine of no less than $50 and no more than $300. The law also provides that it is illegal to park in handicapped parking access aisles. It is legal to use a handicapped person's placard or license plate to park in designated handicapped parking spaces if the handicapped person is not being transported at the time. Parking on hills. Before leaving your parked vehicle, turn your wheels in the proper direction. See graphic below. Turn off the motor, leaving the vehicle in proper gear. Set the emergency/parking brake. Remove the keys from the ignition. Check the rearview mirror for traffic before stepping out, and lock it and pocket the keys. Before you drive away from any parking space, be sure to check traffic for signal. Downhill without curb, turn wheels to right. Uphill with curb, turn wheels to left. Uphill without curb, turn wheels right. Parallel parking. Yeah. Okay. Stop even with the vehicle ahead of the parking space, about 1.5 feet to the left of the vehicle. Turn wheels sharply to the right and back slowly into this parking space before the front of your vehicle does not block passing on or oncoming traffic. When clear of the vehicle, turn wheels sharply to the left and continue backing. Turn wheels sharply to the right and pull forward to the curb. Park in the center of the parking space. In a parking lot with marked parking spaces, center your vehicle so... Hello? That's weird. I thought I heard somebody shush me. Vehicles so other drivers have room to enter and exit their vehicles. Cap or exclamation point. Chapter 6. Highway driving. We're not quite halfway. How many chapters are there? There's 15. I was thinking there was 12. That's why I said we were a third of the way through earlier. Well, we are a third of the way through, but almost halfway. Good driving. Oh, there's so many words on this one. Oh no. Oh no. It's all words from here. All words. We gotta get going. Good driving requires you to be observant and aware of your surroundings. You must look down the road to sides and behind your vehicle and be alert for unexpected events. Many accidents occur because drivers do not pay enough attention to their driving. Do not take your eyes off the road for more than a few seconds at any one time. For example, if you need to look at the map, pull safely off the road. Do not try to read the map while you are driving. Drive in the proper lane. When driving on a highway with a total of 2 lanes, one lane in each direction, drive to the right hand lane. You may cross the center line for passing when there are no oncoming vehicles and no solid lines. No solid yellow line. On highways with a total of 4 or more lanes, 2 or more lanes in each direction, always keep to the right unless you are passing slower traffic, letting another driver have room to enter safely, or getting ready to make a... Where was I? They're getting ready to make a legal left turn. Controlling speed. The best way to control your speed is to... I'm nervous something's going to happen. 1 second. Because it happened to me one time. I wasn't doing this one time, but Okay, we should be good. So basically, if my recording software, if my hard drive gets full while I'm recording, the entire recording corrupts. But I want to keep this an all-in-one recording, so I don't have to do any editing, and I can upload it all raw. So yeah, we're at 2 hours of reading now. Yay. Where was that? Controlling speed? I hope I was. The best way to control your speed is to know how fast you are going. Check the speedometer often. Pay attention to the posted speed limits. This is especially true when you leave high-speed roads and begin driving on much slower roads. For more information on Missouri's speed limits, refer to Chapter 3. Passing on highways. Use a left turn only to pass another vehicle. You can use the right lane when passing a vehicle that is making a left turn. Never use the shoulder or unpaved part of the highway to pass. Before you pass a vehicle in front of you, make sure you are in a safe passing zone. Or on 4-lane highways, check the left lane for traffic by using your left and inside rearview mirrors and briefly looking over your left shoulder. Looking over your left shoulder is important because it allows you to check blind spots. Blind spots are space that you cannot see with your rearview mirrors. Do not drive in another vehicle's blind spots. To avoid driving on either side and slightly to the rear of another vehicle, either speed up or drop back to so the other driver can see your vehicle more easily. When passing another vehicle, get through the other driver's blind spot as quickly as you can without exceeding the speed limit. The longer you stay there, the longer you are in danger of having the vehicle collide with your vehicle. Never stay alongside or immediately behind a large vehicle such as a truck or a bus. These vehicles have large blind spots and it is hard for their drivers to see you. If you cannot see the truck driver's face in the truck side mirror, the truck driver cannot see you. It takes longer to pass a truck. After you pass, make sure you can see the cab of the truck in your rearview mirror before re-entering the lane. Maintain your speed. Do not slow down once you are in the front of the truck. If the way is clear, signal that you are changing lanes. Pass the other vehicle quickly and smoothly, being careful not to exceed the speed limit. Give plenty of room to the vehicle you just passed. Do not turn back into the light lane until you have passed the vehicle in your rearview mirror. Remember to look over your right shoulder to check your blind spot and be sure to signal. Being passed. If another vehicle begins to pass you, stay in your lane and do not increase your speed. If many vehicles are passing you in the right lane of multi-lane roadway, you are probably going slower than the rest of the traffic. Unless you will be turning left soon, you should move into the right lane when the way is clear. Adjusting to traffic. Vehicles moving in the same direction and lane at the same speed cannot hit one another. Accidents involving 2 or more vehicles often happen when the drivers go faster or slower than other vehicles on the road. If you are going faster than the traffic, you will have to keep passing others. I'm losing my voice, or my throat's starting to hurt. Each time you pass someone, there is a chance for collision. The vehicle you are passing may change lanes suddenly on a 2-lane road. An oncoming vehicle may appear suddenly. Slow down and keep pace with other traffic. Speeding does not save more than a few minutes an hour. Going much slower than the other vehicles can be just as bad as speeding. It tends to make vehicles bunch up behind you, and drivers then become impatient and pass you. If vehicles are piled up behind you, pull over and let them pass you when it is safe to do so. Be aware of the traffic around you. Check your rearview mirrors every few seconds to keep track of the approaching traffic. Make sure other drivers see you. Be sure to keep a safe distance. Refer to Chapter 8 between you and the vehicle in front of you. Slow moving traffic. Some vehicles cannot travel very fast or have trouble keeping up with the speed of traffic. If you spot these vehicles early, you have time to change lanes or slow down safely. Slowing down suddenly can cause a traffic accident. Watch for large trucks and small, underpowered vehicles on steep grades or where they are entering traffic. They can lose speed on long or steep hills, and it may take longer for these vehicles to get up to speed when they enter traffic. It hurts to talk. I swear it's kind of hurting to talk now. Stopping. Never stop on the highway itself. Many highways have rest stops and service areas. Be alert so that you know well ahead of the time when you will have to stop. Stopping suddenly is dangerous. Braking quickly could cause you to lose the control of your vehicle. You may also make it harder for drivers behind you to stop without hitting you. Try to avoid panic stops by seeing events well in advance. By slowing down or changing lanes, You may have to stop at. You may not have to stop at all, but if you do, it could be more gradual and a safer stop. You can stop on the shoulder of a highway in an emergency. If you do, alert other drivers by turning in your emergency flashes. It is also helpful to raise the hood or tie a white cloth to the antenna. Controlled access highways. Many highways have controlled access. This means you can enter or leave the highway only when there are entrance or exit ramps. Entering the highway. Entrance ramps are short one-way ramps used to get on the highway. At the end of most entrance ramps is an acceleration line. Use the ramp and acceleration lane to increase your speed to match the speed of vehicles on the highway. As you are speeding up, watch for an opening in the highway traffic. Switch on your turn signal and pull smoothly into the traffic. Do not stop at the end of an acceleration line unless traffic is very heavy and you do not have to stop. Drivers already on the highway should give you room to enter, but if they don't, do not force your way onto the highway. You must yield the right of way to them, even if that means stopping at the end of an acceleration lane. Leaving the highway. Exit ramps are short, one-way ramps. Oh, exit ways are short, one-way ramps. Why did they put a comma there? That makes no sense. At the beginning of most exit ramps is a deceleration lane. Make sure you are in the proper lane to leave the highway well in advance of the deceleration lane. Use the deceleration lane in the exit ramp to slow down when leaving the highway. Be sure you obey the speed advisory sign on the exit ramp. Be ready to stop or yield at the end of the ramp. If you miss or exit, do not stop, back up, or try to turn on the highway. You will have to get off the highway at the next exit and come back to the exits you missed. Interchanges. When two busy highways meet, there will be interchanges instead of entrance and exit ramps. An interchange can be confusing if you have not driven on it before. There are directional signals on interchanges that help you determine where you need to go. Some common interchange designs: cloverleaf, diamond, directional, trumpet. Watch out for highway hypnosis. Highway hypnosis can make you very, very sleepy and unaware of traffic around you. Highway hypnosis is caused by the sameness of the road and traffic. The hum of the wind, tires, and engine also adds to the hypnosis. You can avoid highway hypnosis by constantly moving your eyes and watching the traffic and highway signs around you. If you feel sleepy, pull off the highway. Do not risk falling asleep at the wheel. Stop driving when you feel sleepy. When you feel tired, it is hard to make decisions and react to the traffic around you. You may fall asleep at the wheel. When you feel sleepy, pull off the highway at the nearest rest stop or service area. If you are really sleepy, take a nap. Tired drivers are a great danger to themselves, other drivers, and can be as dangerous as intoxicated drivers. Emergencies. If your vehicle breaks down on the highway, make sure other drivers can see you and your vehicle. See you and your vehicle. Where was I? Accidents occur because the driver did not see a stalled vehicle until it was too late to stop. If possible, use a two-way radio, telephone, or cellular phone to notify authorities that your vehicle or someone else is broken down. Many roadways have signs that tell you the CB channel or telephone number to call an emergency. The cellular number can call an emergency. Oh, that was a yawn. The cellular number to call an emergency is 55. Is star 55. If you are having trouble and have to stop, consider the following. If at all possible, get your vehicle off the road and away from traffic. Turn on your emergency flashers to show you are having trouble. If you cannot get your vehicle on the roadway, try to stop where other drivers have a clear view of the road vehicle. Do not stop just over a hill or just around a curve. Try to warn other drivers that your vehicle is there. Place emergency flares behind the vehicle. This alerts other drivers to change lanes if necessary. Never stand on the roadway. Do not try to change a tire if it means you have to be in the traffic lane. Lift the hood or tie a white cloth to the antenna, side mirror, or door handle to signal emergency. If your vehicle breaks down on the roadside, stay inside. You are safer inside the vehicle than outside. Chapter 7, Sharing the Road. Oh, we are almost halfway because there are 15 chapters. I'd say actually this is how much we've read so far, right? And this is how much we have left to go. So we're getting close to halfway, and it's only been 2 hours and 14 minutes, so it's only 2 hours and 14 minutes longer at least. Or most, or least. Sharing the road. Sharing the road with motorcycles. Some things you should know when sharing the road with motorcycles. Motorcycles are often overlooked by motorists. It is not easy to judge the speed or distance of a motorcycle on residential streets, especially with those with parked cars travel at or below speed limit depending on the site of distance. Motorcycle changes the speed and lane position when encountering bad road conditions such as manhole covers, diagonal railroad tracks, road debris, or strong winds. Be ready to react. You should share a lane with a motorcycle. The motorcycle needs the entire lane for safety reasons. When you are passing, give the motorcycle a full lane width. Do not squeeze past these road users. Wait for a clear stretch of the road before passing a cyclist in a lane too narrow to share. Safety tips for motorcycle riders. The law requires you to wear a helmet. Wearing a safety certified helmet can prevent serious injuries or death. Be sure your motorcycle is in safe condition and has all the equipment required by law. Make sure the motorists see you. Wear a bright colored clothes and stay out of a vehicle's blind spots. Use proper lights and reflectors when riding after dark. Make sure you signal before you slow down, change lanes, or turn. Before merging, change lanes or turning, scan behind and in front to ensure that it is safe to make this maneuver. Do so in plenty of time and in cooperation with other drivers who will still be affected by your move. It is not likely I was trying to think of a good pose I could do while I read the books. Yeah, I can see the book, so it looks more ethical. I don't know if I used that word right. Make sure motorists see. We already did that. I think we're on 5. Be careful when passing to the left of a parked or moving vehicle. You should leave 3 to 4 feet of clearance to avoid suddenly opened car doors or to allow for vehicles to swerve. Be extra careful at intersections. Do not assume your right of way when there is vehicle approaching. Be aware that motor vehicle drivers may not see you approaching the intersection or may believe that you are moving at a slower speed than you are. Keep a steady line. And be predictable as a courtesy to other traffic and to increase your personal safety. Motorcycle drivers need a driver's license. To drive any motorcycle on the public streets, you must have a valid driver's license with a motorcycle endorsements or a motorcycle license. Sharing the road with large trucks. Trucks are not large cars. Whether they are accelerating, braking, climbing a hill, switching lanes, or turning onto a side street, tractor-trailer trucks must perform certain maneuvers that drivers of automobiles do not. A typical tractor-trailer combination, a power unit pulling a loaded semi-trailer hinged to its rear, may weigh up to 80,000 pounds, depending on its trailer length. The total length of the combination may exceed 90 feet. On the busiest intercity routes, a motorist may encounter double or even triple trailer combinations combined exceeding 100 feet in length. Any motorist who has seen or who has I'm starting to have dyslexia, who has driven behind one of these trucks at a traffic light knows that a semi-trailer combination accelerates slowly. The truck may have to go through 10 gears to reach a speed limit. The truck may have 2 or 3 times more power under the hood than a car does, but with up to 70,000 pounds of trailer and cargo behind it, a truck engine must move 30 or 40 times more weight than a car engine. Published with permission from John Deere Transportation Charities Road. To improve safety for all road users, please consider this information. Do not enter a roadway in front of a large vehicle. Avoid changing lanes in front of a large vehicle if you are turning off the roadway. If you are driving behind a truck or a bus and cannot see the driver in his or her rearview mirrors, the driver of that vehicle cannot see you. A truck or bus has blind spots on each side. If the rear and in front where automobile cannot be seen, these blind spots are referred as a no zone. Do not drive in the no zone except when absolutely necessary. You should not drive alongside large vehicles for prolonged periods of any time. Tailgating a truck is also dangerous. Leave any vehicle a caution of safety. It takes longer to pass a truck after you pass. Make sure you can see the cab of the truck in your rearview mirror before re-entering the lane. Maintain your speed and signal when re-entering the lane. Do not slow down once you are in front of the truck. When traveling up or down steep grades, large vehicles must drive slowly in the right lane. Avoid driving your car in the right lane going up or down hills on divided or multi-lane roadways when interacting with large trucks. When you are near truckway stations, avoid driving in the right lane so slow-moving trucks can easily merge back onto the roadway. Vehicles carrying hazardous materials must stop at road crossings. Be prepared. Because of their size, large trucks may swing out to the left as the first step in making a right turn. When following a tractor-trailer, observe its turn signals before trying to pass. Tractor-trailers take longer to stop than cars traveling at about the same speed. The average passenger car traveling 55 miles can stop at about 130 to 40 feet, almost half the length of a football field. A fully loaded tractor-trailer may take almost 400 feet to come to a complete stop. Cutting off a truck in traffic or on the highway is particularly dangerous. If you need to make a turn or left lane change, take a moment to slow down and turn behind the truck. It will only take you a few extra. Ooh. Never underestimate the size and speed of an approaching tractor-trailer. Because of its large size, a tractor-trailer often appears to be traveling more slowly than its actual speed. Car-truck collisions can occur at intersections when the driver of the car does not realize how close the truck is or how quickly it's approaching. Sharing the road with pedestrians. As soon as you can step out of your vehicle, you become a pedestrian. As a pedestrian, you should know your rights and responsibilities, and as a driver, you should know the law when pedestrians are around. As a pedestrian, you should know when you are facing a walk signal or green light, you have the right of way. You may begin to cross the road after you make sure all drivers see you and stop for you. Do not begin to cross the street when you are facing a do not walk signal or red, yellow, or yellow light. If the flashing do not walk sign appears when they cross the street, you may finish crossing the street. Where was I? Finish crossing the street. You should cross the road at an intersection or a crosswalk. When you are in a business district, you are between two closely spaced intersections with traffic lights. Otherwise, you may cross the road in the middle of the block without a crosswalk. Being careful when stepping out of two parked vehicles. You must yield the right of way when crossing in the middle of a block. Walk facing traffic. When no sidewalk is available. You should not stand in traffic lane to speak to a driver for any length of time, as this could cause an accident. Instead, you should wait for the driver to pull aside to a safe parking spot, and you should remain on the curb side of the vehicle. What are we at? 61. 4 more pages and we're halfway there. Then again, a lot of these pages aren't things I'm going to read. It's like the glossary and stuff. I'm stopping at page 108. And I'm at page 60. Oh, dang. Wait. No, I'm not. I'm stopping at page... (101). So I have 41 more pages to go. As a driver, you should know in some situations, pedestrians are required by law to yield to vehicles. In other situations, vehicles are required to yield to pedestrians. In all situations, whether the pedestrians are obeying the law or not, you must drive carefully, reduce your speed if needed, and do your best to avoid endangering pedestrians. Even when you are facing a green light, you must yield the right of way to all pedestrians in the intersection. Never assume you have the right of way. Do not assume pedestrians see you and will stop you. Do not pass a vehicle that is stopped or slowed down for a pedestrian. Watch out for kids. Children will run out into the road without looking for traffic. So be extra careful when you drive in your schools, playgrounds, parks, or in residential areas. You must obey a slower speed limit in a school zone when lights are flashing or children are present. At a school crossing where there is traffic patrol, stop and yield if a traffic patrol member tells you to do so. The following laws or rules also apply. Drivers must always yield the right of way persons who are blind when a pedestrian is crossing the street or highway guided by a dog or carrying a white cane or a white cane with a red tip. Vehicles must come to a complete stop. Drivers must yield when a pedestrian is in a marked or unmarked crosswalk or on or approaching their side of the road. What? As you prepare for a right turn, especially on a red traffic signal, be cautious of pedestrians or bicyclists approaching on your right. Drivers should not block the crosswalk when stopped at a red traffic signal. Drivers should not cross a sidewalk or crosswalk without first yielding pedestrians. Sharing the road with mopeds and bicycles. My throat is killing me. I swear it hurts so bad. Whoa, I don't know what that was. Some things you should know when sharing the road with mopeds or bicycles. Most collisions with bicycles and mopeds happen at intersections where smaller, slower bicycles and mopeds are especially easy to overlook. Scan carefully for bicycles and mopeds before proceeding through an intersection, giving them the same consideration you would any other vehicle. Bicycles are often overlooked by motorists. If it is not easy to judge the speed or for distance for a bicycle, distance for a bicycle. Accidents with wrong-way bicyclists frequently occur when the motorist wants to turn right onto a main road and is often looking left or approaching traffic. When be sure to look right and check for wrong-way bicyclists on the road or sidewalk before proceeding. On residential streets, especially those with parked cars, travel at or below the speed limit. If you are following a bicyclist and need to make a right turn, slow down and remain behind the cyclist until you are able to turn. Cyclists often travel at surprisingly fast speeds. If you need to make a left turn, yield to oncoming bicyclists until you are absolutely sure you can make the turn before the cyclist reaches the intersection. Bicyclists change speed and lanes of position when encountering bad road conditions such as manhole covers, diagonal railroad tracks, drain gates, road debris, or in strong winds. Be ready to react. When you are passing, give bicycles and mopeds a full lane width. Do not squeeze past these road users. The bicycle is generally a slower moving vehicle, and this may require you to slow down. Wait for a clear stretch of road before passing a cyclist in lane too narrow to share. Check for passing bicyclists before opening your car door in a traffic lane or bicycle lane. A bicycle lane in a portion of roadway designated by striping to be that's just something flashing. To be used by bicycles. You may cross a bicycle lane when turning or when entering or leaving the roadway. You must yield to bicyclists in a bicycle lane. How far was it? Okay. I'm at where to ride mopeds and bicycles. Where to ride mopeds and bicycles. On public streets and highways, you have the same rights and responsibilities as a motor vehicle operator. Always drive with the traffic, never against it. When operating at less than the posted speed or traffic flow, generally ride as near to the right side of the roadway as it is safe. The right edge of the road often has hazards like ditches, gutters, sand, and gravel shoulders. Especially or some of these hazards. And these hazards are needed for safety. You may move towards the middle or left of the lane or roadway as appropriate. When making a left turn, when avoiding hazards, when the lane is too narrow to share with another vehicle, and when there's a right turn only lane and you are going straight. Always check traffic and signal before changing lanes or changing your position with a lane. On a one-way street, bicyclists may also choose to ride as far to the left as is safe. The law does not allow you to ride a moped or any part of the federal interstate highway system Safety tips for moped and bicycle riders. State law does not require you to wear a helmet. However, wearing a helmet, safety certified helmet, can prevent serious injuries or even death. Be sure your bike is in safe condition and has all the equipment required by law. Make sure motorists see you. Wear bright colored clothes and stay out of vehicles' blind spots. Use proper lights and reflectors when riding after dark. Oh, so many words. Too many words. Make sure you signal before you slow down, change lanes, or turn. Before merging, changing lanes, or turning, scan behind and in front to ensure that it is safe to make this maneuver. Do so in plenty of time and in cooperation with other drivers who will be affected by your move. If it is not safe, continue on a straight course and scan repeatedly and only move once it is safe. In conditions of heavy traffic, less proficient bicyclists may find it easier to wait near the curb for a safe gap to appear. Be careful when passing to the left of a parked or moving vehicle. You should leave 3 to 4 feet of clearance to avoid suddenly opened car doors or to allow a vehicle to swerve. Be extra careful at intersections. Do not assume your right of way when there is a vehicle approaching. Be aware that motor vehicle drivers may not see you approaching at the intersection or may believe that you are moving at a slower speed than you are. Keep a steady line and be predictable at courtesy to other traffic and to increase your personal safety. For teen and adult bicyclists, studies show that riding on the street with traffic, not against it, following the same traffic rules that other vehicles do, is far safer than riding on a sidewalk. Moped drivers need a driver license. To drive any motorized bicycle, such as a moped on public streets, you must have a valid driver's license. A motorized bicycle is is defined as any two-wheeled or three-wheeled device having an automatic transmission and a motor with a cylinder capacity of not more than 50 cubic centimeters, which produces less than 3 gross brake horsepower and is capable of propelling the device at a maximum speed of not more than 30 miles per hour on level ground. Equipment required on mopeds and bicycles is you don't have to register your moped or bicycle, and it does not have to be inspected. However, Missouri law requires certain equipment to be on the mopeds and bicycles. Brakes. Your brakes must be able to stop with you within 25 feet when traveling 10 miles per hour. Lights and reflections. The number of bicycle auto crashes rises dramatically between sunset and the sunrise. Almost all crashes can be prevented with proper bicycle lights and reflectors. You must have the following lights and reflectors when riding your bicycle from a half hour after sunset until a half hour before sunrise. A white light on the front of your bicycle or carried by you that other drivers can see from up to 500 feet. A rear red reflector at least 2 square inches or a rear red light that drivers can see when reflected by their vehicle's low beam headlights at 600 feet. Reflective materials or headlights on the pedals, crank arms, shoes, or lower legs that drivers can see when reflected by their vehicle's low beam headlights at 200 feet. Reflective material and or lights on each side of the bicycle or bicycles that drivers can see when reflected by their vehicle's low beam headlights at 300 feet. That this does not apply to mopeds that comply with the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration regulations. Funeral processions. If you are driving a vehicle in a funeral procession, you should follow the vehicle in front of you as closely as it is practical and safe. Every vehicle in the procession must use its flashing emergency lights. As organized funeral procession has the right of way at all intersections regardless of any traffic control device, except for emergency vehicles or when directed otherwise by law enforcement officials. The following rules apply to all drivers not involved in an organized funeral procession. Do not drive between the vehicles that are part of the procession when they are in motion. Do not join a funeral procession for the purpose of obtaining the right of way. Do not attempt to pass any vehicle in the procession except where a passing lane has been specifically provided. Do not enter an intersection in which a procession is going through a red signal light unless you may do so without crossing the path of a funeral procession. Road rage. Road rage is an uncontrolled display of anger by the operator of a motor vehicle, usually in response to another driver's actions, which can result in property damage or personal injury. Drivers prone to road rage are usually aggressive individuals who fail to follow courteous driving practices. Some examples of behavior associated with road rage includes beeping the horn, flashing headlights, forcing another vehicle to pull over, bumping into another vehicle, threatening another driver, damaging a vehicle intentionally, assaulting another driver, pursuing another vehicle, making aggressive gestures, verbally abusing another driver, tailgating another vehicle, braking or slowing suddenly, deliberately obstruction, cutting off, or swerving. As our society has become more accustomed to it, road rage has become a normal part of our driving environment. These habits can be unlearned, but it takes self-discipline on part of drivers. When confronted with any of the behaviors associated with road rage, you should try to remain calm and do not react with similar behavior. Identify the location, for example, intersection, mile marker, direction, vehicle traveling, etc. Get a physical description of the driver. Get a description of the vehicle, approximate year, make, model, color, license plate number, etc. Report the incident to the nearest local authorities as soon as possible. If you have a cellular phone, exit the roadway to a safe area and dial star 55 or 911 if you are in a metropolitan area. Drunk drivers. If you believe you have seen a drunk driver, tell the police immediately. You may be saving someone's life. Helpful information to provide the officer includes the license plate number of the vehicle a physical description of the car and driver and the vehicle's location. About littering. Littering is against the law. It is unsightly and may cause a traffic accident. For example, a lit cigarette thrown at a car can be blown into a vehicle behind you, causing property damage or personal injury. If a judge finds you guilty of littering, you may have to pay up to $1,000 fine and or spend up to 1 year in jail. My eye is killing me. My throat is killing me. Sharing the road with others is a... Oh, I missed that entire page. Sharing the road with others in a considerate manner makes the road safer for everybody. Safe driving tips for everyday driving. Use seatbelts and child restraints. Before you drive, always fasten your seatbelts and make sure all your passengers are using seatbelts or child restraints. Studies have shown that if you use seatbelts, your chances of being hurt or killed in an accident are greatly reduced. Seatbelts should always be worn within the lap belt, with the lap belt low and snug across the hips and the shoulder belt across the chest. Shoulder belts should never be placed under the arm or behind the back. If your vehicle is a two-part seatbelt system, be sure to wear both the lap and the shoulder belt. Seatbelts should be worn even if your vehicle is equipped with airbags. While airbags are good protection against hitting the steering wheel, dashboard, or windshield, they do not protect you if you are hit from the side or rear, or if the vehicle rolls over. An airbag will not keep you behind the wheel in these situations. An unrestrained or improperly restrained occupant can be seriously injured or killed by deploying an airbag. The National Highway Traffic Security Administration recommends drivers sit within at least 10 inches between the center of their breastbone and the center of the steering wheel. Children 12 and under should always ride properly restrained in a rear seat. Never put a rear-facing infant restraint in the front seat of a vehicle with a front passenger airbag. If you need more information about child seat safety, contact Department of Transportation Highway Safety Division website www.mo.gov, phone 800-800-BELT. Seat belts. It's the law. Missouri law requires the operator and front seat occupants of all passenger vehicles to wear a properly adjusted and fastened seat belt. However, all passengers accompanying an intermediate driver license holder must be properly restrained. Child passenger restraint law. The law requires children of certain ages, weights, and heights to be restrained by a child passenger restraint system, booster seat, or safety belt when transported in any motor vehicle other than a public carrier for hire or school bus. Ages, weight, and height classification. Children less than 4 years old, regardless of weight, shall be secured in a passenger seat in a passenger restraint system appropriate for that child. Less than 40 pounds. Children weighing less than 40 pounds, regardless of age, shall be secured in a child passenger restraint system appropriate for that child. Less than 8 years old or 80 pounds or under 4'9". Children less than 4 years of age, but less than 8 years. Children at least 4 years of age, but less than 8 years of age, who also weigh at least 40 pounds, but less than 80 pounds, and are also 4'9" tall, shall be secured in a child passenger restraint system or booster seat appropriate for that child. Children at least 8 years old, greater than 80 pounds, or taller than 4'9". Children at least 8 years old, at least 80 pounds, or children more than 4'9" tall shall be secured by a vehicle safety belt or booster seat appropriate for that child. For more information on the booster seat law, refer to the Department of Transportation website www.booster seats. Defensive driving. To avoid making mistakes or bringing an accident because of someone else's mistake, you must drive defensively. As a defensive driver, you should keep your eyes moving, notice what is happening ahead of you and on the sides of the road, and check behind you through your mirrors every few seconds. Pay special attention to oncoming vehicles. Many head-on collisions occur by distracted drivers crossing the center line. Expect other drivers to make mistakes and think what you would do if a mistake does happen. For example, do not assume that a vehicle is coming to a stop sign is going to stop. Be ready to react if it does not stop. Never cause an accident on purpose, even if a pedestrian or another vehicle fails to give you the right of way. Do not rely on traffic signals signals or signs to keep others from crossing in front of you. Some drivers may not obey traffic signals or signs at an intersection. Look to the left and right, even if the other traffic has a red light or stop sign. Proper posture while driving. The way you sit and hold the steering wheel affects your driving. Good posture can help you stay alert and in full control of your vehicle. Sit with your back straight, upright, and relax against the seat. Move your seat close enough so you can easily reach the pedals, but far enough away so your elbows are in front of you when you hold the steering wheel. Keep both feet... Oh, okay, I see. Keep both feet within reach of the floor controls. Keep both hands on the up on the steering wheel. Steering. Use a proper grip. Place your left hand between the 7 and 9 o'clock positions and your right hand between the 3 and 5 o'clock positions on the steering wheel. This position is comfortable and allows you to make most turns without taking your hands off the wheel. Look well down the road, not just at the road in front of your vehicle. My nose hurts. Look for traffic situations where you will need to steer or slow down before you get to them. When turning corners, turn the steering wheel using the hand overhead technique. Do not turn the wheel with just the palm of one hand because you could lose control. When you complete a turn, straighten out the steering wheel by hand. Steering wheel locking device. Never turn your vehicle's ignition key to the lock position when your vehicle is still in motion. This will cause the steering wheel to lock if you try to turn the steering wheel and lose control of the vehicle. Following other vehicles. Be sure to keep a safe distance between your vehicle and the vehicle in front of you. You need a safe distance to stop or turn to avoid an accident. Rear end Rear end crashes are very common. They are caused by drivers who follow too closely and cannot stop in time when the vehicle ahead of them suddenly stops. 3-second rule. A good way to measure your safe following distance is to use a 3-second rule. Choose an object near the road ahead like a sign or telephone pole. As the vehicle ahead of you passes it, count slowly 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. If you reach the object before you finish counting, you are too close to the vehicle ahead. Space behind. It is not always easy to maintain a space distance between your vehicle. However, you can help keep the driver at a safe distance by keeping a steady speed and signaling in advance when you slow down. Follow these safety tips. Try to find a safe place out of traffic to stop and pick up or let off passengers. If you want to parallel park and there is traffic coming behind you, put on your turn signal. Pull next to the space and allow vehicles to pass before you park. When you have to drive so slowly that you slow down other vehicles, pull to the side of the road when it is safe to do so and let them pass. There are turnout areas on some 2-lane roads you could use. Other 2-lane roads sometimes have passing lanes. If you are followed too closely or tailgated by another driver and there's a right lane, move over to the right. If there is no right lane, wait until the road ahead is clear, then reduce speed slowly. This will encourage the tailgater to drive around you. Never drive down quickly to discourage. Never slow down quickly to discourage the tailgater. This will only increase your risk of being hit from behind. Space to the side. You need space on both sides of your vehicle to have room to turn or change lanes. Oh, a lot more words. Almost chapter 9 though. Avoid driving next to other vehicles on multi-lane roads. Someone may crowd your lane or try to change lanes and pull into you. Move ahead or drop behind other vehicles. Keep as much space as you can between yourself and oncoming vehicles on a 2-lane road. My lips are getting dry. My throat is getting dry. Everything's getting dry. My eyes are getting dry. Keep as much space as you can between yourself and oncoming vehicles. On a 2-lane road, this means not creating the center line. In general, it is safer to drive on the center of your lane. Make room for vehicles entering a multi-lane roadway. If there is not a vehicle... If there's not a vehicle in the lane next to you, move over a lane. Keep extra space between your vehicle and parked vehicles. Someone could step out from a parked vehicle between vehicles, or a parked vehicle could pull out. Give extra space to pedestrians or bicyclists, especially children. They may move in your path quickly and without warning. Wait until it is safe to pass. When possible, take potential hazards one at a time. For example, if you are overtaking a bicycle and an oncoming vehicle is approaching, slow down and let the vehicle pass first so you can give them extra room. So you can give extra room to the bicycle. Stopping distance. Your stopping distance equals your reaction distance plus your braking distance. If you are driving fast or very tired, or if your vehicle has bad brakes, you will need more space to stop your vehicle. The following distance equals your reaction distance plus your... What is wrong with my nose? The reaction distance is your distance you travel after you see a danger and before you apply your brakes in the chart shown below. The reaction distance is for 1.5 seconds. You have to be alert to react within 1.5 seconds. The braking distance is the distance you travel after you apply your brakes, and before your vehicle comes to a stop. In the chart shown below, the braking distance for a vehicle with good brakes and tires in good weather and on a good road, and it shows a chart. I don't know how I would read that. Letting others know what you are doing. Generally, other drivers expect you to keep doing what you are doing. You must warn them when you are going to change direction or slow down. This will give them time to react to what you do. Signal when you change direction. You should use your turn signals before you change lanes, turn right or left, merge into traffic, or park. Get into the habit of signaling every time you change direction. Signal even whenever you do something when you don't see anyone else is around. It is easy to miss someone who needs to know what you are doing. Signal as early as you can. Try to signal at least 100 feet before you make your move. If there are other streets, driveways, or entrances before you and where you want to turn, wait until you have passed them to signal. If another vehicle is about to enter the street between you and where you plan to turn, wait until you have passed it to your signal your turn. After you have made a turn or lane change, make sure your turn signal is off. After small turns, the signal may not be off by itself. Turn it off if you have not clicked off by itself. If you do not, other drivers might think you plan to turn it on again. To turn again. Using your horn. Do not use your horn unless you have to. Needless use of horns may distract other drivers and cause an accident. There's only one reason to use your horn: to warn other drivers. Your horn should not be used as a display of anger or frustration. Slowpoke driving. It is against the law for you to drive slower than the posted minimum speed under normal driving conclusions. You may drive more slowly than the minimum speed if you are driving in bad weather, heavy traffic, or on a bad road. If there is no posted minimum speed, it is still against the law for you to drive so slow that you block traffic. If you have to drive more slowly and vehicles line up behind you, you should pull over and let them pass. Many accidents, 2:46, almost 3 hours. Many accidents are caused by slow drivers who block other traffic. Remember, slower is not always safer. Carbon monoxide. Beware of carbon monoxide poisoning. Vehicle motors give off carbon monoxide, which is deadly gas. To avoid carbon monoxide poisoning, am I on the right page? Yes, I am. Do not leave motor running in a garage. Do not leave motor running and windows closed when you park your vehicle. Do not use the heater or air conditioner in a parked vehicle with the windows closed. Do not leave the vents open when following closely behind another vehicle. Do not drive with the defective muffler or exhaust system. Tips for avoiding a deer accident, deer vehicle accident. You can reduce your odds of being involved in a deer vehicle accident, DVA, by Diva Overwatch. Diva online. By applying these precautionary measures. Be especially alert and caution when traveling through areas marked with a deer crossing sign. Deer seldom travel alone. Chances are if you see one deer crossing a road or notice a struck deer on the side of the road, there are others nearby. Be especially cautious in areas around fields, streams, and gardens where deer tend to congregate. Most deer-related crashes occur in January, May, October through December. Highest risk periods are from sunset to midnight and the hours shortly before and after sunrise. After dark, use high beams when there are no opposite traffic. High beams will illuminate the eyes of a deer on or near a roadway and provide greater motorist reaction time. To reduce the likelihood of serious injury in a DVA, be sure all vehicle occupants wear seatbelts and children are properly restrained in child safety seats. If you see that a DVA is unavoidable, do not swerve. Swerving off the road or into a path of an oncoming car can increase the risk of injury. Make sure there is no traffic behind you before slowing suddenly. Too much pressure can cause the front end of the vehicle to drop down, striking the deer in the legs and allowing the body to come into the passenger compartment of the vehicle. If you are involved in a DVA, report the accident to a local law enforcement agency. Obtain a police report if required to file a claim for coverage with your insurance company, and contact a local Missouri Department of Conservation agent to report where the accident occurred. This can help identify frequent weird deer crossings. Whew. What? I don't see this. I don't have the distracted driving thing, I swear. Or that I go straight to chapter 9 after the deer. Look. probably don't even care, but just saying I'm not skipping nothing. 9. Safe driving tips for special driving conditions. On my page 71. Night driving. Driving at night is more difficult than driving during the day. Headlights do not let you see as far as you can in daylight. Limit your view of the sides of the road, and the glare of oncoming headlights makes seeing the road more difficult. For driving at night, you should make sure your windows are clean. Turn your headlights on from half hour after sunset until half hour before sunrise. Make sure your headlights are clean and working well. Have them checked from time to time for correct aim. Use your high beams where there are no oncoming vehicles. Do not overdrive your headlights. Your headlights only let you see about 350 feet ahead. Be sure you are driving slow enough to stop or turn if needed. Use your low beams when you come within 500 feet, about one block of an oncoming vehicle. Also use your low beams when following another vehicle within 300 feet. Slow down when nearing a curve if you are driving the maximum posted speed limit. Use the edge line as a guide. If there's no edge line, use the center line to guide you. Stay awake and alert. Do not drive if you feel tired. Watch carefully for highway signs. They are harder to see at night. Watch carefully for people in the vehicle stopped on the other side of the road. Headlight use. You must use your headlights anytime weather conditions require the use of your windshield wipers. Winter driving. In winter, clean all snow and ice off your windows, headlights, and tailgates. Be sure your windshield wipers and defroster are working. No matter how far you are going to drive, never start driving until all snow and ice is off your windows. Your vehicle should have its tires that are something in my mouth. Ready for driving in snow. If you do not have tires that are ready for driving in snow, you should have chains ready to put on your tires during bad weather. But even if you have snow tires or chains, you cannot drive safely on snow or ice at normal speeds. If there is snow or ice on the road, slow down. When starting on snow or ice, start slowly and smoothly. If your tires start to spin, try clearing a path by driving backwards and forwards a few times. That does not help. Spread some abrasive material like salt, sand, or cat box lid around your wheels. Never let anyone stand in line with your wheels. Your wheels may throw up gravel or ice and cause injury. Once you have started, try to get the feel of the road. Gently brake while driving conditions. See how slippery the road is, and then adjust your speed for the road conditions. It will take longer to stop your vehicle when driving on snow or ice, so be sure to leave a safe distance, about 8 to 10 seconds between the vehicle and a vehicle around you. When you want to slow down or stop, apply the brakes and gently, smoothly, never slam. Never slam on your brakes. Forgot about the yawn thing. Never slam on your brakes. We're almost at 3 hours. This may cause you to skid on very slippery surface. Pump the brakes by gently pushing down and letting up on them several times. If your vehicle is equipped with an anti-lock brake system, it's too hot. Never mind. Refer to your owner's manual for proper braking techniques in special situations. Remember that bridges and overpasses will freeze and become slippery before other parts of the road, and be aware that even on cleared roads, a few ice patches may still exist. If you have four-wheel drive, do not use the four-wheel drive on ice. Four-wheel drive vehicles can easily overturn on ice. If you hit an icy patch in four-wheel drive, take your foot off the accelerator. Remember, ice and snow, take it slow. Ha ha ha, super clever. Wet pavement. When it starts to rain, water mixes with the dust and oil on the road to form a slick, greasy film. Fallen leaves can also become quite slippery. The wet pavement will make it harder for you to stay on the road on curves. It will also take longer to stop your vehicle, so be sure to slow your speed and leave a safe distance between your vehicle and the vehicle in front of you. Hydroplaning. On wet pavement, your tires may ride on the water rather than pavement. This is known as hydroplaning, and it refers to loss of traction and control. Hydroplaning can happen at any speed over 35 miles per hour. In a severe rainstorm, oh my back, the tires can lose all contact with the road at 55 miles per hour. If you think your tires are hydroplaning, take your foot off the accelerator and slow down. Do not hit the brakes, as this may cause you to skid. To avoid hydroplaning, have good tires with deep treads on your vehicle. Keep tires properly inflated. Slow down during rainstorms or when the pavement is wet. Anti-lock brakes systems, ABS. Four-wheel ABS is a safe, effective braking system. When used properly, it offers an important safety advantage by preventing the wheels from locking during emergency braking situations. Let me make sure my hard drive is not getting close to being filled. Oh, it's getting there. That's kind of scaring me. I gotta uninstall something real quick. There's 9 gigabytes left. It's just filling faster than I thought it would. We'll uninstall GTA 5. There you go, 70 gigabytes free. For language during emergency. If your car is equipped with ABS, you should be aware that under hard braking, you may feel a pulsing in the brake pedal. Do keep your foot on the brake. Maintain a firm and continuous pressure on the brake while steering to enable the four-wheel ABS to work properly. Remember, if your vehicle is equipped with anti-lock brakes, don't pump your brakes. Don't forget to steer, and don't be alarmed by mechanical noises and or side pedal pulsations. These conditions are normal and let you know the ABS is working. Skidding. Handling a skid in the same four front wheel and rear wheel drive vehicles. Take your foot off the accelerator but do not hit the brakes. Gently turn your steering wheel in the direction that rear wheels are sliding. Be careful not to brake or turn sharply. Hitting the brakes or jerking steering wheel will only make the skid worse. Steer into the skid. Before skid, rear wheels slid to the right. Turn front wheels to the right. Vehicles straight again. Fog. It is very dangerous to drive in fog. If you must drive in fog, you should reduce your speed. Be alert and ready to stop. Keep your headlights on low beam in fog. You will see less if your lights are on high beam. In the fog, if the fog becomes so thick you cannot see, pull off the road and stop. You leave your lights and emergency brakes flashers on. Handling vehicle emergencies. The most important rule in any emergency is do not panic. If you stay calm, you remember what you should do. If you have power steering or locking steering wheel, never turn off the ignition key until you have come to a complete stop. Brake failure. If your brake pedal suddenly sinks to the floor, pump the brake pedal fast and hard several times. If that does not work, use your emergency or parking brake, but use it gradually. Shift to a low gear and look for a place to slow to a stop. Make sure your vehicle is off the road. After the vehicle has stopped, call for help. Do not try to drive to a garage. Tire blowout. If you hear a tire blowout, you might hear a loud bang, then thump, thump, thump. The steering wheel may jerk and you may lose control of your vehicle. Hold the steering wheel tightly. Take your foot off the accelerator, but do not hit the brakes. Let your vehicle slow to a stop completely off the road. Apply the brakes when the vehicle is almost stopped. Turn on your emergency flashers. Change the tire only if you can do so without placing yourself in danger. Running off the pavement. If your wheels run off the paved edge of the road, the wheels may pull to the right. Hold the steering wheel tightly. Take your foot off the accelerator but do not hit the brakes. Only apply gentle brake pressure if necessary. When the vehicle is slowed and you have control of the vehicle, turn back onto the pavement if the lane is free of traffic. Steering failure. If your vehicle does not turn when you turn the wheel, take your foot off the accelerator. Let your vehicle slow down itself. Do not hit the brakes until your vehicle has almost stopped or unless you have to. Turn on your emergency flashers. Headlight failure. If your vehicle's headlights go out, try the dimmer switch or headlight switch that might turn them on again. If that does not work, put on parking lights, emergency flashers, or on turn signals. Pull off the road, but leave the emergency flashers on. Stuck accelerator. If your accelerator becomes stuck, you should shift to neutral, apply the brake, keep your eyes on the road, look for a way out, warn other drivers by honking and flashing your emergency lights. Try to drive the car safely off the road. When you no longer need to change the direction and have stopped, turn off the ignition. Turning off the key locks the steering wheel. My eyes hurt. Many of the vehicles. Blocked vision. Blocked vision. If your hood suddenly flies open, your windshield wipers fail, or something else blocks your vision, roll down your window so you can look out whatever is blocking your view. Look around whatever is blocking your view. Turn on your emergency flashers. Pull your vehicle off the road. Vehicle approaching head on in your lane. Slow down, pull over to the right, and sound your horn. Do not swing over into the left lane. The other driver may pull back over into that lane too. Stalling on railroad tracks. If a train is approaching, unfasten your seatbelt, get out of your vehicle and off the tracks. Run the direction the train is coming from. If you run in the direction the train is heading, you may be hit with debris when the train hits your vehicle. What? If there is no train in sight, roll down your windows and listen for the train. Try to start the engine. If that fails, put your vehicle in neutral and push it off the tracks. And 12 and 15 passenger van safety. The National Transportation Safety System (NBTS) has determined that 12 and 15 passenger vans are inherently unstable when loading for the level of which they are designed. Carrying more than 10 passengers, the NTSB recommends that all drivers 12 and 15 passenger vans obtain specific training on handling and operation of these types of vehicles. For more information regarding 12 and 15 passenger van safety, you may visit the NTSB's website at blah.gov. It is good practice driving in bad weather, but try to find a safe location away from traffic, pedestrians, and other obstacles. Chapter 10. Be in shape to drive. Alcohol, drugs, and driving. Driving a motor vehicle is a privilege. It takes skill and common sense. Alcohol or drugs or fatigue will cause your driving to suffer. And it is your responsibility to know when you are not in shape to drive. Driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs, even medicine or driving when you're tired, can have deadly consequences for you, your passengers, and other motorists. Drinking and driving is not worth the risk to your life and the lives of others. Even a small amount of alcohol may affect your driving ability. If you are going to drink, let someone else drive who has not been drinking. Missouri laws are tough if you have been found guilty of drinking or using drugs while driving. You may pay a fine, lose your license, or even go to jail. If you injure or kill someone because you were drinking or using drugs while driving, you may spend 2 to 7 years in jail, pay a $5,000 fine, and or lose your driver's license for 5 years. When a police officer stops you and suspects you have been drinking, the officer may ask you to take some tests, like walking heel to toe or standing on one leg. These tests will help the officer decide if you should be arrested and have a chemical test of your breath, blood, or urine. The result of this test is known as your blood alcohol concentration, BAC level. Administrative actions. If your blood alcohol concentration level is 0.08 or more, or for minors 0.02% or more, the officer will take your license away and give you a notice. This notice tells you that your license will be suspended or revoked, and if you will not be able to legally drive after 15 days. The notice includes a 15-day driving permit that you can use if the officer indicates this on the notice. The notice also includes a form that allows you to request a hearing. If you are given a hearing, you may continue to legally drive until 15 days after the decision is mailed to you. There are 2 types of actions that may be taken against for driving when you are not fit to drive. There are administrative actions and court-convicted actions which carry different penalties. If the following chart shows the administrative actions that you can expect to face if you're arrested for driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs. Administrative action: license suspension, driver's license, first offense, 30-day suspension followed by a 60-day restricted driving privilege. Second offense, 30-day suspension followed by a 60-day restricted driving privilege for a second offense that occurred outside a 5-year period. To get your license back, please see page 80 for reinstatement requirements. License revocation. Second offense, 1-year license revocation. IID installation required for reinstem. My eye is killing me. Let me see if I can see how pink it is. Look how red my eye is. Oh my gosh, not good. Not good. I tell you that much. Not good. Oh, I'm so close. I have to keep pushing, man. Court convicted actions. If you receive a ticket and a judge finds you guilty of driving while... My eye is killing me. Driving while intoxicated, DWI or blood alcohol concentration, BAC of 0.08% or more, you will not be able to legally drive after the ticket is sent to the department. Your license will be suspended, revoked, or denied based on your past driving record and points added to your record. You will be notified by mail when you must stop driving. The chart on the next page shows consequences of a court-convicted action like DWI or BAC. BAC, driving operations, operating a vehicle with 0.08 blood alcohol content or more, and or DWI, driving while intoxicated. First offense, spend up to 6 months in jail, pay up to a $500 fine. Second offense, spend up to 1 year in jail, pay up to a $1,000 fine. Third offense, spend up to 4 years in jail, pay up to a $5,000 fine. Fourth offense, spend up to 7 years in jail, pay up to a $5,000 fine. Fifth offense, spend between 5 and 15 years in jail. That's it. Driver's license, suspension, revocation, or denial. First offense, 30-day suspension followed by a 60-day restricted driving privilege. Second offense, 1 year license revocation. Second offense within 5 years. 5 year license denial. Note, only a BAC with a conviction date of August 28, 2009 or after can be used toward a 5-year denial. Third offense, 10-year license denial. Third and subsequent offenses, 10-year license denial. To get your license back, please see page 80 for reinstatement requirements. Missouri abuse and lose law. If you are younger than 21 years of age, your driver's license may be taken away for 90 days for any of the following: any alcohol-related traffic offense, if you possess or use alcohol or drugs while driving a vehicle, if you alter, modify, or misrepresent a driver's license, if you are under 18 years of age and possess or use alcohol and are charged with the second offense. If you are 21 years of age or older, you may have your driver's license taken away for 1 year. If you possess or use drugs while driving, to get your license back, you must pay a $45 fee, submit a form showing you completed a substance abuse traffic offender problem SATOP or complete comparable program. Minor in possession, MIP, and other alcohol offenses. If you are older than 15 years of age and under 21 years of age, a state court may suspend or revoke your driver's license for any of the following: purchasing or attempting to purchase any intoxicating liquor, possessing any intoxicating liquor consumption constitutes possession, being visibly intoxicated as defined in section 577.001 RSMO, having a blood alcohol concentration level of more than 0.02%. The following chart shows the consequences a young person faces for MIP and other alcohol offenses: crime, minor in possession, driver's license suspension. First offense, 30-day suspension. Second offense, 90-day suspension. Third offense, 1 year revocation. To get your license back, pay a $45 fee and attend a substance abuse traffic offender program, SATOP, or comparable program. Proof of insurance. If you are facing consequences of a DWI or BAC, you will be required to file proof of insurance with driver license beret. I think that's how you say it. Beret. The most common method of filing proof on insurance is an SR22 insurance filing. Proof method of filing proof of insurance is an SR22 insurance filing. Proof of insurance must be kept on file with a driver's license beret for 2 years. If you do not keep proof of insurance on file, your driver license will be suspended for the rest of the 2 years unless you file proof insurance and you pay a $20 fee. I'm about to throw up. I'm not kidding. I'm starting to not feel good. My throat is killing me. It's so dry. That does not help though. Too much talking. There's one exception to this. Oops. Ow. Oh wait, I'm already there. There's one exception to this rule. Minors with a BAC of 0.02% or more do not have to file proof of insurance on a first offense. More information about insurance is included in Chapter 13 of this guide. Refusal to submit a chemical test of your blood alcohol concentration. If a police officer stops you and you refuse to take a chemical test to determine your BAC, your driver's license will be taken away for 1 year. Your driver's license will be reinstated if you submit the requirements below. Reinstatement requirements for alcohol-related offenses. Your license will be reinstated if you pay a $45 fee, submit a form showing you completed a substance abuse traffic offender program, SATOP, or complete program, provide proof of insurance for 2 years, SR22 filing, and have an ignition interlock device, IID. I hear something that was weird. This requirement becomes effective July 1st, 2009 and applies only if you had a prior alcohol-related contact. Ignition interlock. An ignition interlock device, IID, is a mechanical unit that is connected to the vehicle's ignition horn and headlights and measures the concentration of alcohol in a person's breath. The IID requires vehicle operators to provide a breath sample before starting the vehicle and periodically during the operation of the vehicle. Effective July 1st, 2009, if you have more than one alcohol-related contact showing on your driver record, you must have an IID installed on any vehicle you operate before you're driving. That's weird. I keep hearing banging. Before your driving privilege can be reinstated, the IID must be installed for a minimum of 6 months before your reinstatement date. You must pay for having the device installed and having it, I have a cramp, serviced every month. If you fail to maintain the IID during the 6-month period, your driving privilege will be suspended. You will be required to have the device serviced/installed. Send proof to your driver's license bureau and pay a $20 reinstatement fee before having the driving privilege reinstated. In addition to driver license requirements, a court may impose other requirements such as IID use for first DWI conviction or use of a device for longer than 6 months. If you receive a ticket for failing to have an IID installed and as required by law, you are convicted in court. Your driving privilege will be revoked for 1 year. A second offense requires your driving privilege to be taken away for 5 years. To locate a list of approved ignition interlock devices and installers, visit the mo.safety.gov/environment.driving.aptm or contact the Missouri Department of Transportation at 800-800-2358. Oh, Chapter 11. 19 more pages. Okay, let's just do this. Let's just get this over with. Driving is a privilege, not a right. You can lose your driving privilege if you disobey the traffic laws. When you are convicted with a traffic violation while your vehicle was in motion, the department receives notice and adds points to your driving record. This isn't like a football or basketball game. You don't want these points. You can lose your driving privilege when you accumulate too many points. The number of points you receive depends on the conviction. For example, you may receive 2 or 3 points if you're convicted of speeding, depending on the court was municipal, county, or state level. By contrast, you may receive 12 points in the revocation of your driving privilege if you are convicted of leaving the scene of an accident. The following are examples of some state law violations and the point values associated with them. Violation: speeding, 3 points; careless and imprudent driving, 4 points; knowingly allowing an unlicensed driver to operate a vehicle, 4 points; a felony involving a motor vehicle, 12 points; obtaining a driver license by misrepresentation, 12 points. That burnt. Operating a vehicle with a suspended or revoked driver license, 12 points. Racking of the points. The consequences: if you accumulate a total of 4 points in 12 months, the department will send you a point of accumulation advisor. If you accumulate a total of 8 or more points in 18 months, your driving privilege will be suspended. Below are the consequences for accumulating 8 points in 18 months. First suspension, 30 days. Second suspension, 60 days. Third or subsequent suspension, 90 days. Your driving privilege will be revoked for 1 year if you accumulate 12 or more points in 12 months, 18 or more points in 24 months, 24 or more points in 36 months, depending on whether your suspension or revocation was related to alcohol. There are different reinstatement requirements. For non-alcohol related point suspension or revocation, you will need to submit proof of insurance, SR22, and a $20 reinstatement fee. For an alcohol-related point suspension or revocation, you will need to submit the reinstatement requirements on page 80. Details about submitting proof of insurance, SR22, can be found in Chapter 13, Mandatory Issue. How points come off your driving record. driving record. Can't do it. How points come off your driving record? When driving privilege is reinstated, the department reduces your total points to 4. Every year you drive without getting new points on the record, the points will be reduced. After 1 year, remaining points will be reduced by 1/3. After 2 years, remaining points will be reduced by 1/2. After 3 years, points will be reduced to 0. Although your points may be reduced to 0, certain convictions must remain listed permanently on your driving record. I have a superpower. I have a special ability to be able to read something and instantly just forget what I read. I swear, it's random to say now, but I can't really remember one specific thing I've learned from reading all of this. All of that. And my permit test is tomorrow. I'm probably not going to pass. Although your point may be reduced to 0, certain convictions must remain listed permanently in driving record. Other consequences. Well, driving while your license is suspended or revoked. If you drive while your license is suspended, your driving privilege may be revoked for 1 year after you are convicted. If you continue to drive while your license is revoked, you may be convicted of a felony and have your license revoked again for 1 year. Failure to appear in a court for traffic violations. When you fail to appear in court for traffic violations, the court will notify you within 10 days of your failure to comply. The court will give you 30 days to pay the fines before the court notifies the driver license bureau. If you do not comply with the 30 days, the court will notify the driver license bureau if you fail to comply, and your driving privilege will be suspended immediately. If this happens to you, your driving privilege will be suspended until the bureau receives proof that the ticket is paid and a $20 reinstatement fee. If your license is suspended for fact, you may get your driving privilege reinstated in one of the 3 ways. Take the reinstatement requirements to the license office. The information will be faxed to the driver's license bureau in Jefferson City for renew. A reinstatement letter will be prepared and faxed for the license of an office to be given to you. If your driver's license was previously surrendered, a temporary driving receipt will also be faxed. Your driver's license will be mailed to you directly from the driver's license bureau in Jefferson City. Mail the reinstatement requirements. Oh, it's still there. To the driver license bureau, P.O. Box 3950, Jefferson City, Missouri 65105-3950. Bring the reinstatement history to the driver license bureau in the Harry S. Truman State Office building at 301 West High Street, Jefferson City, Missouri, in room 470. Office hours are 7:30 a.m. to 5 o'clock p.m., Monday through Friday, except holidays. Titling your vehicle. Whether you are a Missouri resident buying a new vehicle or a new resident who recently moved to Missouri, you have 30 days to visit your local license office and take care of your legal responsibilities to title your vehicle. A title is proof that you own your vehicle. When you buy a vehicle, you must apply for a title within 30 days. If you do not apply within 30 days, you have to pay a penalty fee. You may apply for a title at any license office. The title will cost $8.50, and you will be required to pay a $2.50 processing fee. You have to pay all the state and local sale taxes due. For information on the amount of sale tax you will have to pay, contact any license office. Call 573-526-3669 or visit our website www.dormo.gov and enter sales tax calculator. Sorry, seeing what percent my phone's on. I swear there's banging going on up there. I ready to sleep. What you need to get a title. The requirements are different for new and used vehicles. And for vehicles just bought in Missouri and outside of Missouri, following is a description of the requirement for these situations. Vehicles bought in Missouri. New vehicle bought in Missouri. The dealer will give you a title application and an assigned manufacturer statement of origin. The manufacturer statement of origin indicates the vehicle is new and has never been registered. You, the purchaser, and the dealer must complete the odometer disclosure portion on the back of the manufacturer statement of origin. Used vehicle bought in Missouri. You must receive a properly assigned title. See below for explanation from the seller that proves you have bought the vehicle. If you bought the used vehicle from a dealer, you should also receive a completed title application. A proper odometer disclosure on the back of the title is required on vehicles that are less than 10 years old. If the title assigned to you is an out-of-state title, you must get identification number and odometer ID/OD verification form completed by a licensed inspection station. Vehicles bought out of state, not Missouri. New vehicle bought out of state, you must receive the dealer's invoice or a bill of sale and assigned manufacturer statement of origin of out-of-state dealer. You, the purchaser, and the dealer must complete the odometer disclosure portion on the back of the manufacturer statement of origin. Used vehicle bought out of state. You must receive either a properly assigned title, see below for an explanation, from the seller, or reassigned title from the dealer. If the state does not require a title, you must get a bill of sale and the vehicle's last certificate of registration in the state. A proper odometer disclosure is required on vehicles less than 10 years old. If the title assigned to you is an out-of-state title, you must get an identification number and odometer verification form completed by a licensed inspection station. Properly assigned titles. A properly assigned I'm not that far behind. Properly assigned title has the following information completed in the assignment area: buyer's name and address, odometer reading if applicable, sale price of the vehicle, date of the sale, name of any lien holder if applicable, signature and printed name of all sellers and buyer's printed name and signature if applicable. Salvage vehicles. For information on titling a vehicle bought for salvage, dismantling, or rebuilding, call 573-526-3669 or write to Missouri Department of Revenue, Motor Vehicle Bureau, 301 West High Street, Room 370, P.O. Box 100, Jefferson City, Missouri 651050100. Odometer readings. When you buy or sell a vehicle that is less than 10 years old, the seller must write a mileage reading on the title assignment. If the vehicle is new, the odometer reading must be on the manufacturer statement or origin. Both the buyer and the seller must print and sign their names verifying the mileage. In some instances, a separate odometer statement may be required. Registering your vehicle. If you are a Missouri resident, and you are required to register your vehicle in Missouri. If you are a new Missouri resident, you must register your vehicle within 30 days of becoming a Missouri resident. If you are a new Missouri resident, you must surrender your out-of-state title and apply for Missouri title. If a financial institution has your title, you must provide your out-of-state registration, lien holder's name, and your lien holder's address. The license office will request the title from your lien holder. After you surrender your out-of-state title, a Missouri title will be issued and mailed to you. When you register your vehicle in Missouri, you will receive Missouri license plate and year tab located on the license. You may register your vehicle at any license office. If you are registering a passenger vehicle, your registration fee will be based on your vehicle's taxable horsepower. If you are registering a commercial vehicle, your registration fee will be based on its zoning gross weight. An additional processing fee will apply. You may be eligible to obtain a 2-year registration for your vehicle during an even-numbered year like 2008. You may register for 2 years. If your vehicle has been an even-numbered model year, likewise during an odd-numbered year like 2009, you may register for 2 years if your vehicle has an odd-numbered model year. Otherwise, only a 1-year registration is available. What you need to register your vehicle: about 2 months before your vehicle registration expires, you should receive a renewal notice in the mail. If you do not receive this notice, you are still required by law to renew your license plate before it expires. To ensure you receive a renewal notice, remember to update your address if you move. You can email doormail@doormail.com and include your full name, old and new address, your driver license number or last 4 digits of your social security number, and your vehicle's license plate numbers. The renewal notice will list your requirements to renew your vehicle registration, make sure you read the list and bring the required documents and license office with you. The requirements are listed below, but all of them may not apply to you. Renewal notice from the department, of a registration receipt from the previous year, or copy of your title, paid personal property tax receipt, or its statement of non-assessment from the country in which you reside or city of St. Louis for the period of your progressive registration. If you have a 1-year registration, show the previous year's receipt. If you have a 2-year registration, show receipts from the previous 2 years, current insurance, identification card, or other proof of insurance of financial responsibility. Refer to Chapter 13 for detailed information. The current certificate of safety and or emissions inspection done with the last 60 days if applicable. Refer to Chapter 14 for more information. The correct registration processing fee. Tip: you may also be able to renew your plates on www.platesmo.gov. If you are eligible for this convenient option, a personal identification number PIN will be printed on your renewal notice. Other information: selling a vehicle. State law requires you to report the sale of your motor vehicle or all-terrain vehicle by completing a notice of sale DOR 5049 and submitting it to any license office or to the address of the form within 30 days. Stolen license plate and tabs. Stolen tabs allows you to replace stolen license plate tabs up to 2 times per year at no cost. A $3.50 processing fee is applicable. If you sign a notarized affidavit certifying the plates or tabs were stolen effective January 1st, 2009, a corresponding police report is required in addition to the notarized affidavit, or $8.50 replacement fee is due. Lost or destroyed title, plates or tabs. If your license plates, tabs, or title is lost or destroyed, you must apply for a replacement. The charge for the replacement title is $8.50. The charge for replacement plate is $8.50 per plate, and the charge of a set replacement tabs is $8.50. An additional processing fee of $3.50 will also apply. Missouri license plate information. The words "Show Me State" appear across the bottom of the standard license. A year tab is located on the license plate. Each year tab is a different color. Personalized plates. When you register your vehicle, you may apply for personal license plates. In addition, on the normal registration fee, the charges personalized plates is $15 for a 1-year registration and $30 for 2-year registration. More information regarding personalized vehicle/specialty plates may be obtained online at www.mo.gov/plates. Chapter 13, Mandatory Insurance. The basics. State law requires all motor vehicles operators in order to have a form of liability insurance. Liability insurance covers the policyholder's legal liability resulting from injuries to other persons or damage to their property. This is called financial responsibility. Motor vehicle owners are required to show proof of insurance when registering a vehicle or renewing their license plate. There are several ways you can provide proof of insurance. They're listed below. A copy of your original current insurance identification card given to you by your insurance company. A copy of your motor vehicle liability insurance policy or insurance binder, a temporary policy, a paid insurance receipt shows the policy information, a certificate of self-insurance issued by the department, an ID card issued by the department when a surety bond, real estate bond, or security is filed with the department. An ID, I did that. Most drivers obtain liability insurance through an insurance company or agent, but there are other forms of liability insurance. Self-insurance. To be self-insured, how many pages? To be self-insured, you must have more than 25 vehicles and be able to show you can and will pay for damage caused by your vehicles. A certificate of self-insurance will be issued to you by the Department of Revenue. Surety bond, real estate bond, certificate of deposit, other negotiable securities to ensure through a bond, deposit, or security, you must file the bond certificate of or security in the amount of $60,000 or $120,000 if a real estate bond with the Department of Revenue. The Department of will issue you a certificate of self-insurance as proof of insurance. Cash. A deposit of $60,000 cash may be deposited with the state treasurer. A certificate of self-insurance will be issued to you by the department. Minimum coverage requirements. Liability insurance covers your legal liability, which ensures or property damage happens, which when injuries or property damage happen to other as a result of your actions. A minimum level of coverage requirement by state law is shown below. $25,000 per person for bodily injury, $50,000 per accident for bodily injury, $10,000 per accident for property damage. The law also requires you to have uninsured motorist coverage of $25,000 for bodily injury per person and $50,000 per injury per accident. Maintaining your insurance. When you register a vehicle with the department, you must sign a form stating that you have insurance and will keep insurance of the vehicle. You must... that page took so long. I'm getting so tired. You must keep proof of your insurance in the vehicle. If a law enforcement officer asks you for a proof and you cannot show it, you will receive a ticket. At any time, the department may require you to show proof of insurance. If you are in an accident and did not show proof of insurance at the time, the department will require you to prove you have insurance. Failure to keep your insurance. Insurance is important. There are a number of consequences if you fail to keep your insurance. Not only can it cost you a lot of money if you are in an accident, but you may lose your driver license and license plate. If the department learns you have not kept your insurance, you will not receive a notice of suspension of the law. I gotta start moving around. Mail. Where was I? In the mail. Your driver license and license plate may be taken away or suspended for not having insurance. In order to get your license and insurance and license and license plate back, there are certain requirements you must meet. Number of suspensions. What happens to you? One suspension, your driver license and or license plates will be suspended until you pay a $20 fee and file a proof of insurance. You are required to do this for 3 years. 2 suspensions within 2 years of each other. Your driver license and or license plate will be suspended for 90 days. You must also pay a $200 fee. File proof of insurance for 3 years. 3 or more suspensions. Your driver license and or license plates will be suspended for 1 year. You must also pay a $400 fee. File proof of insurance for 3 years. The most common way to file proof of insurance is through an SR22 insurance filing. Contact your insurance company or agent to file the SR22 form. If you fail to keep the insurance for 3 years, your driver license and or vehicle license plates will be suspended again. Failure to pay for damage and cause an accident. If you are at fault in an accident and do not pay the damages you caused, your driver license and or vehicle license plate will be suspended for 1 year. You may be reinstated during that 1 year period if you do the following. Pay a $20 fee. Send proof to the Department of Revenue, driver license bureau that you have settled in damages. Accident and crashes. An accident is when you injure yourself, injure someone else, or cause damage to property while driving your vehicle. Driving responsibly and defensively can reduce your chances of being in an accident, but nothing can totally prevent it. Even if you have an accident with a parked vehicle, do not leave. Leaving the scene of an accident with a crime is a crime. If you are in an accident, you should stop. Move your vehicle off the road if possible, especially if may cause other accidents. Help anyone who is hurt. Try to make the injured person comfortable, but do not move him or her. Call an ambulance. Call the police. Use flares, reflectors, or flashlights to warn the other traffic. Exchange the following information with everyone involved: name, address, driver license number, verification, identification number, VIN, and license plate number. Name of your insurance company and policy. Stay until a law enforcement officer says you may leave the accident scene. Contact your insurance company as soon as possible, even if the accident wasn't your fault. Steer it and clear it. If you're involved in a minor traffic crash, one of your first thoughts you might have is whether or not you should move your vehicle. The answer is yes. A state law that took effect 10 years ago requires vehicles involved in a minor non-injury crashes to move off the road. The Missouri Department of Transportation is using the 10-year anniversary to remind motorists to steer it and clear it to ensure minor traffic crashes don't turn into major pileups. The agency is also putting up signs in the St. Louis and Kansas City area with the steer and clear message. If you're involved in a minor traffic crash and there aren't any injuries, you need to move your vehicle onto the shoulder or other nearby location off of the roadway. Every minute a vehicle stops on the freeway and blocks one lane of traffic, it backs up approaching traffic for 4 minutes. The law known as the Move It law also helps reduce the chance of motorists being involved in secondary crashes, which causes 18% of fatalities in Missouri. File an accident report. Under certain circumstances, you are required to file an accident report with the department. State law requires the accident report to be filed within 30 days. Even if the accident happened in the parking lot or a settlement is made, you must report an accident to the driver license bureau. If it happened in Missouri, the accident happened less than 1 year ago, someone involved in the accident did not have liability insurance coverage, and if there's damage to one or more persons' property in excess of $500, or if there was a personal injury or death. In other circumstances, you may not be required to report this accident, but you may want to report it anyway. If the accident did not cause more than $500 in property damage, personal vehicle death, personal vehicle or personal injury, or death, you may still file an accident report. If there was an uninsured motorist involved, the department will only able to take action against the uninsured motorist for not maintaining insurance. You may obtain an accident report from the department's website at www.doma.gov from your insurance company agent or from any license office. After you fill out the agent's report, you may mail or fax it to the department. Missouri Driver License Bureau, 301 West High Street, room 470, Post Office Box. Oh, I'm on the wrong page. Post Office Box 200, Jefferson City, Missouri 65105-0200. Fax 573-526-7365. Chapter 14, Safety and Emissions Inspections and Required Equipment. Safety inspections. Safety inspections are required to register or renew the registration on many motor vehicles. There are some exceptions which are discussed in the next section. Chapter 10 discussed that you need to be in shape to drive. Just the same, your vehicle needs to be in shape to be driven. Your vehicle safety inspection is good for 2 registration years unless you sell the vehicle. Even model year vehicles like 2008 must be inspected when their vehicle registration expires during even calendar years. Odd model year vehicles like 2007 must be inspected when the registration expires during odd calendar years. Each official inspection station may change an inspection fee not to exceed $12 or up to $10 for a motorcycle inspection is required for your next renewal. Exceptions to the requirement. The following types of vehicles are exempt the first 5 years following the model year of the manufacturer, even when there is a change of ownership. This includes vehicles with an out-of-state title. Example: a 2007 model year vehicle is exempt from safety inspection in 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2012, 2011, 2012. All trailers motor vehicle engaged in an intra-commerce and registered with the Missouri Department of Transportation. Motor vehicles that display historic license plates. Motor vehicles sold for junk salvage rebuilding. Motor vehicles sold from dealer to dealer. Low speed vehicles are as defined in section 304.029 RSMO Motor vehicles registered for 26,000 pounds or above and registered for a period of less than 12 months. Note the renewal notice will list a safety inspection requirement. However, if the office issues renewed the registration on or after April 1st, an inspection is not required. If your vehicle does not fit into the exceptions listed above, it will be required to pass the safety inspection. As licensed inspection stations may inspect your vehicle for safety, authorization stations will display the sign shown on the bottom of the page 92. Read your motor vehicle renewal notice to find out whether your vehicle needs a safety inspection. Brakes. Equipment needed. Brakes must be in good working order. Headlights. Your vehicle must have at least two white headlights. Taillights. Your vehicle must have at least two red taillights and reflectors that others can see it from up to 500 feet. Signaling devices. Your vehicle must have turn signals and brake lights as originally installed by the manufacturer. Steering mechanism. Your vehicle's steering mechanism must not have too much play or binding. Tires and wheels. You must not have bald or mismatched tires on your vehicle. Safety glass. If your vehicle was made after January 2001, 1936, it must have safety glass in all windows. Windshield. The viewing area of your windshield must not be badly broken. Vision reducing material. Your vision must not have anything on the windshield that will reduce your visibility except labels and stickers required by law or ordinance, and informational signs on the upper portion of the windshield normally tinted by manufacturers. Windshield wipers. Your vehicle's windshield wipers must work. Seatbelts. If your passenger car was made after June 30th, 1964, it must have two sets of seatbelts in the front seat. Horn. Your vehicle must have a horn that other drivers and pedestrians can hear. Exhaust system. Your vehicle must have an attached exhaust pipe, muffler, and tailpipe. Mirrors. If your vehicle was made after 1967, it must have an inside and outside rearview mirror. Air pollution control devices. If your vehicle was made after 1967 and does not have a diesel motor, it must have an air pollution control device. These pollution control devices must be originally installed by the manufacturer. Fuel system. The fuel system, including all lines, hoses, connections, and tanks, must be firmly attached and must not leak. Mud flaps. Trucks without rear fenders registered for over 24,000 pounds must have mud flaps. Other equipment required by law. In addition to the equipment needed to pass the safety inspection, Missouri law requires the following equipment. License registration plates. Missouri law requires that a license plate be secured fastened to the vehicle and that all parts of the plates are visible and clean for view or inspection by any law enforcement entity. If you have frames around your license plate, the Missouri Highway Patrol reminds you that the frame must not be covered any parts of the plates. If you receive two plates, you must have one plate on the front, one plate on the back. If you have a trailer motorcycle, you will receive only one plate, which you must have on the back of your vehicle. If you have a truck licensed in excess of 12,000 pounds, you will only receive one plate, which will be placed on the front of the truck. If you want a second plate, it will be specially requested. You must place the original plate on the front of your truck, and if the second plate is issued, it must be on the rear of your truck. License plate light. Your vehicle must have a white light shining on the rear license plate so that the plate can be seen from 50 feet. Protections. You need special equipment if something in your vehicle overhangs the rear more than 5 feet during the day. The end of the protection must have a red flag or cloth that is at least 16 inches square. The end of the projection must have a red light from a half hour after sunset until a half hour before sunrise. Tow lines. When you are towing another vehicle, your tow line must keep the vehicles within 15 feet of each other from half an hour after sunset until half an hour before sunrise. Both vehicles must have lights on. Slow moving vehicle sign. From sunset, half an hour before sunrise, any vehicle moving 25 miles per hour or slower must have a slow moving vehicle sign. Refer to Chapter 3. The sign must be on the rear vehicle near the middle and 4 feet or more above the road. The sign must be clean and reflective. Studded snow tires. Vehicle must have studded snow tires only from November 1st to April 1st. Window tinting. Tinting or sunscreening material is permitted on the side and rear windows. Front door windows at no more than 65% light blockage. Emissions inspections. Motorists residing in St. Louis City and the counties of St. Louis, St. Charles, Franklin, and Jefferson are also required to have emissions inspections if applicable. There are some inspections which are listed below. For information or emissions inspections not covered in this guide, please call 1-866-623-8378 or visit the Department of Natural Resources website at www.dnrmo.gov and look for the Gateway Vehicle Inspection Program, GVIP. The emissions inspection is a 2-year inspection, just like the safety inspection. Even model year vehicles with registrations expiring in even years must be inspected during even calendar years. Odd model year vehicles with registrations expiring in odd years must be inspected during odd calendar years. All vehicles must be emissions inspected at the time of the sale, regardless of the model year. Refer to the list of exceptions below. New motor vehicles and the first retail sale of titled motor vehicles during the model of the year of the vehicle in the following year are exempt from the inspection requirement, provided the odometer reading is less than 6,000 miles at the time of sale. Exceptions to the requirement: the following motor vehicles are exempt from the emissions inspection requirement. New motor vehicles not previously titled during the model year of the vehicle in the following year, provided there is no change in ownership. 1995 and older gasoline-powered vehicles, 1996 and older diesel-powered vehicles, motor vehicles with the manufacturer's gross vehicle weight rating GVWR over 8,500 pounds, new motor vehicles not previously titled and registered for the 4-year period modeling their model year of manufacture with fewer than 40,000 miles at the first required biennial inspection. Motor vehicles that are driven fewer than 12,000 miles between biennial safety inspections. Vehicles powered by fuels other than gasoline, ethanol, or diesel. Motor vehicles that display historic plates, school bus, shuttle bus, motorcycle, motor tricycle, or street rod plates. Gasoline-powered low-speed vehicles in Franklin County only. Motor vehicles registered in one of the affected areas, St. Louis City and the counties of St. Louis, St. Charles, Franklin, and Jefferson, but based and operated outside of the area for 24 consecutive months. Final chapter. You will need to know the following information if you are applying for a Class E license. As a driver of commercial vehicle, you must obey all Missouri traffic laws, including the laws on the commercial vehicles. Note: all size and weights limited lists below include the load of the vehicle. All weights that refer to interstates or certain designated highways include roads up to 10 miles from the interstate or highway. The size and weight and exceptions listed in the chapter are for Missouri highways only. Size limitations without special permit. Height: maximum height of any vehicle outside of a commercial zone on designated highway plus 10 miles, therefore 14 feet. Maximum height of any vehicle in a commercial zone 15 feet. Maximum height of any on all other weights 13.5 feet. Width: maximum width of any vehicle 8.5 feet. Commercial zone. Commercial zones exist only in cities with a population of 75,000 or more. The commercial zone is 1 mile beyond the city limits plus 1 mile for every 50,000 residents or portion thereof, except the commercial zone for St. Louis City extends 18 miles beyond the city. The commercial zone for Kansas City extends 12 miles beyond the city limits and includes the city of Harrisville. The commercial zones for Springfield, St. Joseph, and Columbia extends only 2 miles beyond the city limits. The commercial zone on the interstate highway extends only 2 miles beyond city limits. The maximum length of any vehicle, 45 feet. The maximum length of any bus or trackless trolley coach, not including 1 foot in front and back for safety bumper, 45 feet. Maximum length for a truck, tractor, and a semi-trailer upon interstates and certain designated highways. The length of the semi-trailer, no overall maximum length, includes load, 53 feet. Upon all the roads, 60 feet. Maximum length of the truck and trailer and all other combination of vehicles upon interstates and certain primary highways, 65 feet. The overall maximum length upon all of the roads, 55 feet. The maximum length of automobile transportations and boat transportations, conventional fifth wheel, 75 feet. Stinger steered, 75 feet for combination until plus 3 feet front to 4 feet rear overhang. Maximum length of driveway saddle map combinations, double or triple on interstate and highway and designated highways, 97 feet. Motor vehicle carries may carry loads that extend beyond their legal length limits. Load must not extend more than 3 feet beyond or in front or 4 feet beyond the rear vehicle. Exemptions from size limits: farm machinery driven occasionally for short distances, vehicles temporarily transporting farm machinery, implement dealers delivering or moving farm machinery for repair, vehicles temporarily transporting road making machines or road materials, vehicles towing disabled vehicles for repair on highways. These exemptions do not include interstate highways. Weight limitations without special permit. A bridge's weight limit may differ from the road's weight limit. If a bridge has a different weight limit, the limit will be posted. Maximum weight on any single axle. Maximum weight on allowed interstate, 20,000 pounds. Maximum weight in a commercial zone, 22,400. Maximum weight in any other routes, 22,000. Maximum weight allowed on interstates, 34,000. Maximum state allowed on all other routes, 36,000. The actual gross weight allowed depends on the distance from the first to last axle. To determine the maximum gross weight allowed in a commercial zone, multiply the number of axles by 22,400 pounds. 80,000 pounds maximum gross weight is allowed on all highways in Missouri, except where bridge structures are posted with lesser weight limits. Maximum gross weight allowed on interstates, primary, and other designated highways, 80,000. Overdimension overweight permits. You may apply for an overdimension or overweight permit by calling 1-800-877-8499 or 573-751-2871 for local calls only, or by contracting the Missouri Department of Transportation Motor Carrier Services Unit, P.O. Box 893, Jefferson City, Missouri 65102, fax 573-751-7408. To receive an oversized or overweight permit, the load on your vehicle must be non-reducible. You must have property damage and bodily injury liability insurance, and you must have pay a permit fee. Vehicle route map. The Missouri Vehicle Route Map is available from the Missouri Department of Transportation. The map shows the routes on which the larger and heavier trucks are allowed to travel as specified by state statute. You may obtain a map by calling 1-866-831-62777 or by contacting Missouri Department of Transportation Motor Carrier Services, P.O. Box 893, Jefferson City, Missouri 65102, fax 573-751-7408. Contact us at mo.gov. Federal Motor Carrier Safety Regulations. Missouri has adopted as state law parts 390 through 397 of the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Regulations. Therefore, drivers and vehicles operating solely intrastate must obey those regulations except for the following exemptions. Commercial vehicles with a GCWR of 26,000 pounds or less than 26,001 pound GVWR unless transporting hazardous materials or passengers. commercial vehicle license for gross weight of 60,000 pounds or less when used only for the transportation of solid waste. Commercial vehicles licensed for 40,000 pounds or less for farm use and indicated by the letter F on the license plate as authorized by Missouri Revised Statutes Section 301.030 unless transporting hazardous materials except fertilizer. Transporting hazardous material. If you are transporting hazardous material, your vehicle must comply with the equipment and operating regulations of the United States Department of Transportation. Emergency equipment and signals when operating wholly within the state. Missouri law does not require emergency equipped for vehicles licensed 40,000 pounds or less with an F plate. Solid waste haulers licensed for 60,000 pounds or less, and commercial vehicles licensed for 12,000 pounds or less. Any other? What? This is different. Information. Okay, never mind. Information on commercial motor vehicles. The following information must be clearly visible on motor vehicles: the name of the owner, the address the vehicle is operating from, and the number issued to a motor carrier by the Motor Carrier Service US.123456 Missouri. Every local commercial vehicle must also show the word local for hire. Carriers must display their US dot number followed by the letters MO. Your vehicle does not need to show the above information if it is licensed for 36,000 pounds or less, if it is not regularly used for commercial purposes. Following distance. If you are driving a bus or truck, you must not follow another bus or truck any closer than 100 feet. However, you may follow closer than 300 feet when you are in business or residential district when passing. Also stay a safe distance behind the vehicle in front of you. For each 10 feet of length in your vehicle, keep at least 1 second between. What was that? Keep 1 second between you and the vehicle in front of you. For example, if you are driving a 40-foot vehicle, keep 4 seconds between the vehicle, you and vehicle in front of you. Railroad clock. Wait stations. All commercial motor vehicles must stop at wait stations except those licensed for 18,000 pounds or less or otherwise exempted by law unless directed by a peace officer. Tailgaters. To avoid an accident with a tailgater, you should slow down. It is better to be tailgated at a low speed than a high speed. Avoid any sudden turns or stops and signal well in advance. Increase the distance between you and the vehicle in front of you. This will help you to avoid any sudden stops. Do not flash your taillights or brake lights at a tailgater. Tailgater will not believe your brake lights when you slow down or stop. Space overhead. Make sure you have enough space over your vehicle at all times. Do not assume that posted heights at bridges or underpasses are all correct. Check all wires, signs, and trees and air conditioning units. Soft surfaces. Make sure the surface will hold the weight of your vehicle. Be wary of parking lots, unpaved roads, or parking areas, especially when wet construction areas. Space to cross or enter traffic. Your acceleration rate varies with the weight of the vehicle, and your time to cross the road is also affected by the length of your vehicle. In a long or heavy weighted vehicle, you will need a larger gap to cross the road than you would in a car. Properly secure or cover any load you carry. And I'm done. There's more pages, but it's a quiz, so I wasn't planning on reading that anyway. I'm really, really tired. How long did that take? 3 hours, almost 4 hours. Oh, I'm never doing that again. My throat is, I don't know if you can tell in the video. I'm going to have to go look at it when I wake up tomorrow. But it is killing me. It's so dry. I've been drinking this milk that's been out for 4 hours. My eyes are super dry. I'm going to bed. Most of you probably skipped to the end. I highly doubt anybody watched the entire thing. People probably just skipped through it. But yeah. Bye. I'm getting off.